밤이라는 건 알고 있었답니다. 야간 근무를 하시는 분들이 방금 막 들렸다 가셨거든요.
I'm not wasting any time. Ooh. Wait. What? Why did I get a free Deca ticket? Whatever. Oh, wait, right. They completely undid the uptie. Oh. Cool. So, in actuality, this ends up making doing what I'm gonna do all the more interesting. Because it means doing... Oh, it saved. Nice. No, it didn't. Because it means doing the Confucius fight without, I'm pretty positive I saw it all. I'm like 100% positive I saw it all. Because this means that I won't have that ego for the fight with Confucius, which means I'm going to do the Confucius not only post nerf, but also post the Sinclair nerf, which means I get to switch Sinclair and use somebody else, or use a different Sinclair. Resentment and avenging cycle of infinite weight, every meeting and reunion an immutable destiny. Thus karma of one's previous life measures their worldly state before the final fight. Wealth in the twilight of life is a fortune most rare. Those who understand this leave their home for temples, and those who are seduced by it fill their time with empty air. Birds, their bellies full with feed, flutter away to the forest. The field of white snow remains pristine. Nary footstep marry its immaculacy? I see a candidate who's just lost a bunch of coins. Someone among the audience wishes to grant the opportunity to rebound. Well, it seems like we'll have to send you some wooden dummies to recoup your lost coins. Yeah, no, I'll do it. Yo. Since I'm still in the middle of Act 2... Oh. I could have sworn I had ads off. Welcome. So, because I'm still in Act 2, and because the patch literally just came out, it means that the Sinclair that I was running, 1, got reverted back to uptie 1, so he has none of his bonuses. He has none of his buffs. He doesn't have his passive, and he's back to his old passive. He's back to a new passive. Which means I'm going to effectively be doing... I'm going to be doing Confucius not only post-nerf, but also without any buff. True, but it also means that I get to now switch that Sinclair to something else. Yes, it does require rupture reason. So, ooh. So honestly, at this point, I'm more excited about having a unique version of that fight. I did peek a little bit at some streamers. Some of them still seem to be in between updating. For some reason, despite however long it usually takes, like, for some reason, my game to open, oh my god, it updates quickly. I'm also trying to cleave through this quickly because I do want to get a little bit into Act 3. How do you have an 11 gigabyte update? Because mine was also just 1 gigabyte. Granted, I did clear my cache recently, so I did update a bunch of stuff. Strange. There we go. Come on. That's why I picked this fight before going to the stop. Your one counter does not matter to me. One thing that at least does make this a lot more fun is that I get to switch my Sinclair to being something cooler. And by that, I mean the one who shall grip. This one is Slashing Gluttony Pride. Slashing Gluttony Pride. I feel like I didn't click on somebody. These monks, who cares? Gluttony Pride, Gluttony Pride. Radian. Baoyu's here. Yeah, stocking the ego resources is kind of the main thing that I want to focus on right now. Stacking ego resources, making sure that different characters get as much sanity as they can, Basically anything that gives me an advantage at the start of the next fight. Oh, right, because it was going to reset. No, the SP was going to reset regardless. Whatever. So yeah, then the only thing that matters is getting, ego. Ego resources. Which means you... No, you. Admittedly, my team is a little bit pride heavy. Don't worry, it gets better with time, hopefully. Or you just cope and deal with it like I have.
효과적이네요. 이 방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어요.
She's fine.
사냥이 성공적이었네요. 이 흐름대로 사냥을 끝내러 가보죠.
Because you're piercing. That's gonna be rough for you regardless. But I really can't spend the... I really can't spend the ego. Actually, no, because you'll just... No, you're targeting the bottom one first. This one's gonna suck. Yeah, the generic fight music for this dungeon has been really nice though, including the boss. The music for the boss fights has also been really nice. Speaking of music, that also means a new Millie song is coming soon. If I hear that there's another dungeon, I'm gonna legitimately be mad though. This does not matter. Until Rodian loses. Baoyu. I'm only back up to 24. I shouldn't say it because, like, yeah, you gotta, because, like, yeah, engagement or whatever. But if you really do want that update to go a little bit, I perfectly understand dropping the stream until your update is finished. Especially if you really want to get into it. I will take no offense. Streams turn crimson with fallen petals, and unspoken sorrow becomes a vast innumerable system of roots. Thus the unresolved resentment blames not, but the springtime breeze. There are 2 large jars in a room, with 2 mysterious devices hanging from above them. The host's voice booms from the speakers the moment we approach the jars. Another chance to earn yourself some coin. The conditions are simple. Remain as long as you can inside those jars. Try sending a clan member who's not so easily rattled, and pick up your coins. Easy, right? This sucks. This one is either Faust has the higher chances. She still loses. Okay, she loses 30 SP. That's fine. Of all the characters to lose SP, it being her is acceptable. This has to be the last one. Like, that has to be the last segment. Shichin.
필이면
Damn it.
여기서 제일 보기 싫었던 얼굴을 마주치네.
It had to be you. I really hoped we'd never have to meet.
추천! 아직까지
You doing okay?
목숨만은
Well, I'm not dead,
하지만 보시다시피
but I'm almost out of coins, as you can see.
그동안 그저에게 습격당했습니다.
We were attacked by Ji Huan, who wiped out our clan's remaining forces.
탈락만은 당하지 않으려고 겨우겨우
I don't think I would survive if she died. I barely managed to protect what I had because there was no way I was letting him eliminate me, but, well, given how the game's going, I guess I'll place somewhere within the top 5 merely by surviving this long in a shrinking area.
이 정도면 창고 구석에 있는 보물 하나쯤은 얻어갈 수
Good enough to
있겠다.
pick up some trinket from a random corner in the treasury. Isn't that right, brother? Shichin almost let out a weary laugh, caught herself, then sighed deeply as she regarded us.
근데
I need her to live. I need Shichin to live,
어쨌나
even in Act 3. So what's happening here? You guys look rough.
왜 여기에?
And what's Big Sis Daiyun doing here? Jai Shichin asked, realizing the oddly downcast atmosphere surrounding our group.
아, 신경 쓰지 않아도 돼.
You don't need to mind that, Shichin.
그리고 네가 원한다면
But if you want to come with, you could.
아니,
No,
나는 두고 가.
just leave me.
탈락이
If I'm to be eliminated, I'll at least face it head on and accept it.
아가씨.
My lady,
왜
Wei.
가주대전은
The family hierarchy was a place to demonstrate what I have prepared so far.
그저 내가 제대로 하지
This just means that I haven't prepared well enough.
분하고 아쉽지만
It sucks and it's frustrating,
받아들여야지.
but I have to accept the results.
그렇구나.
I
그래도
see.
후보자들이 얼마
The game
남지
should end
않았다고
soon,
하니
since they said that there aren't that many candidates left in the game.
밖에서 보자.
I'll see you
네가
outside.
무사하길 바랄게.
Stay safe.
정말
Really?
이렇게 지나쳐간다고?
You're just gonna let me go?
내 동전을 뺏지도 않고?
Aren't you gonna take my coins?
그 정도 동전으론
You don't have nearly enough coins, do
나도
you?
너랑 같은 마음이야.
I'm in the same place as you
아쉽지만
are.
마지막까지 최선을
It sucks, but we're going to try our best to the end.
다해야지. 네 것을 뺏고 싶진
But I
않아.
don't want to take what is yours.
오빠가
I don't know what had
언제
happened, but
가졌다는 건
I knew you'd suddenly changed.
방금 뭐라고 했어?
What did you say?
그래, 준.
Yes, Shichin.
만일 네가
If that is what
원한다면
you want,
다른 형 누나들처럼
feel free to hurt me.
나를 해하려 해도 된다는
Kill me
소리야.
just like our own siblings and children from other families have tried.
나는 몇 년 후에 대강으로
I'm bound to
떠날
leave
테니
Daganwon in a few years' time, so
그 전에 네가
before that happens, maybe you can.
그게 지금
How can you say something like that to me?
나는 이제 말이야.
Well, you know,
더 이상 죽고 사는 것에
I don't want to care about what matters.
연연하고
I don't
싶지
want to
않아.
care about matters of life and death anymore. That just means you've succumbed to despair.
오빠는 방금 나한테는 절대 하지 말아야 할
You
말이
never should have said that to me.
다시는
I won't be visiting you ever, ever again.
오빠가 대관원을 떠난 이유
And I hope our paths never cross even after you depart Daganwon.
그때부터 오빠를 보면
Those words haunted me every time I saw your face, brother.
모든 걸 포기한 사람
You were smiling, like someone who'd already given up on everything.
하지만 나도 똑같았지.
But I guess I have no room to talk. I didn't even bother to ask you what happened. I just...
그 이후로 오빠를
Her dress is immaculate. Also, welcome, Kay. Completely ignored and avoided you.
나 아까 치우 오라버니를 마주쳤어.
I ran into Big Brother Q earlier.
당연히 나를 죽이거나
I thought he was going to kill me or take what few coins I had, but
그냥 한번 쳐다보더니
he just glanced at me before walking away. Weird, right?
이상하지. 오빠나
You, Big Brother Q. I had no idea what either of you want.
여러분들은 이만
You should keep moving.
하시지. 안심하세요.
Rest assured, I will protect my lady to my last dying breath.
대전이 끝나는 그 시간까지
I wish you good tidings until the end of the games. Very cordial of them. Like, no real fuss. Happiness and laughter are but illusions. Sorrow and grief are but illusions also. Avarice, yearning, and longing are but manifestations of one's vicosity. We run into different candidates into a different candidate's clan in a narrow hallway. Feel free to duke it out, but with the candidates' mutual agreement. I think we can turn this battle into a more interesting game. It's up to both of you, though. I'll make the wager. I don't care. I don't think there was. There was other fights, but there wasn't another event. Oh, so there's a mutual agreement between the two candidates. The wager it is, then. Very well. Place 5 of your coins in front of you, and summon out a member of your clan and have them give a presentation on why their candidate is more deserving of the family hierarchy. Refute your opponent's argument while reinforcing your own, and your dear audience will choose the winner. Alright then, send out your most articulate and persuasive representatives. And everyone is down to... Faust, okay. Statistically speaking, Faust would have to win 3 50-50s in a row. Mersault would have to lose 1 50-50. Statistically speaking, it is smarter to pick Mersault. Son of a bitch. They walk up to us triumphantly, take the coins we placed on the ground as Mersault just stands there overwhelmed. What should we do? I mean, do we have to hand over our coins? We don't have that. Why don't we just beat them up and take our coins back? Actually, hey, nothing's stopping us from beating them up and taking their coins too. The question is, should we? Fuck it, I don't care. They won the game fair and square. I will accept the term on their rules. Let's accept our defeat with grace and move on. We leave the coins and move on, albeit reluctantly. One destined for heavenward ascension. / gluttony, pride. He doesn't need to be there. I've had Hong Lu in the fights consistently, regardless of if I actually needed to or not.
헌팅 커틀러리 준비 끝. 자, 맞서보죠. 우리들에게
/ gluttony, pride.
별것도 아니잖아요.
Honestly, at this point, I just want to get to the Confucius fight.
자, 맞서보죠. 우리들에게 이깟 파도 별것도 아니잖아요.
Because now I know that I got really close. Well, now I know I'm like really close. Actually, because if you're gonna get this regardless. That didn't do much, but that did add bleed to him. Stagger. Plus, I'm not really using Hong Lu too much, so honestly the coins empowering him haven't been that much of a factor for me. Especially if the only one I'm really... God, she's so hot. Especially if the only ID I'm using is K-Corp, who isn't really dealing too much damage anyway. I was mostly using him to apply Rupture. Doing good on poise. Just to buff up her own attack. No. There we go. I'm honestly a little surprised how well the Blood Fiends are consistently performing in this. Though the very slight weaknesses that they kind of have in this specific dungeon, I'm kind of making up for. And Baoyu definitely helps too. Like, I'm not really getting a lot of value out of Gregor right now. But he is reliably sturdy. Yeah, they were the big kind of team for last season. Slashing still.
이만하면 순항이죠. 바람도 딱 좋네.
죄인인가?
Mentally, I'm justifying that as I have more than enough pride to make it worth it. The rest of them are almost dead. Let me optimize this a little. Unfortunately, well, no, it's deliberate. I don't run Fluid Stack. Give me you. Actually. I simply personally do not run it. I have Lasso and Telepole. I do have Everlasting, but I'm not running a fluid stack. The only person on my team that has mass healing is Mersault. 2, 3, 4, 5. Who else would have slashing? You.
불로 정화하고 깨끗한 세계를 세우라.
It makes me have to focus a little bit more. We're really getting to the climax now. As I speak, 2 candidates have been consecutively eliminated. The sheik caved the Wang's head right in as soon as he lost his final coin. What a dramatic double knockout finish. And in first place, we have, yes, Kui of the Jia family. There he is. Get him. Who's that? Isn't he from the Jia family? We'll never defeat Ji Kui anyway. Let's at least take out Ji Baoyu. Yeah, so they're desperate. Right now, they're trying to scrap for as close as they can get to, like, second.
먼저 끝내고 돌아오는 친구는 맛있는 거 사줄게.
물론 사사카타라. Unfortunate for them.
자, 맛볼 시간.
완벽한 한방. 시원한 걸.
I'm leaving myself. You're like 1 off from a stagger. Whatever.
이 방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어요. 저것들 좀 보세요. 고약한 먹물이라도 뒤집어 쓴 것 같은 얼굴이네요. 잘 먹혔나 봐요.
Do I? No, because I want your sanity. Because I don't know what's coming up immediately after this.
실밥이 터졌나?
Though we are pretty much cleaving through whoever's remaining.
저놈을 추적해.
Nice.
와, 엄청난 공격이었어. 기념할 만한 걸.
아, 이런.
Yeah, there would be more.
놀라운 한방이네요.
I am playing a little bit fast and loose though, I will admit that. Being a bit more reckless than I usually would be.
지켜보고 있었지.
방금 전에는 굉장히
2 more. These are the last 4.
그 인간도 이건 인정할 걸?
You're not clashing with anything. That trade-off reminds me a lot of Ruina. Ooh. That trade-off reminds me of Ruina, where you wouldn't want to be super effective because you would want fights to drag on a little bit longer to increase the emotional level to get more books. Which meant that sometimes you were putting yourself in a lot more danger. You're putting yourself in a lot more danger for a much harder fight in exchange for more chances of getting actual good cards. Which was really fun, which is a system that I really liked from Ruina. Looks like everyone's getting more desperate. They're all cornered just like us. Damn it, it's not like they're gonna win a ton of coins by coming after us. Our best course of action now would be to take advantage of the situation. They're saving us the time by coming to us with their coins. As we were descending and fighting off groups of enemies after enemies, a loud bang of a firearm echoed from not too far across the hallway. Who has a gun here? Lin Dayu, who leapt in front of Honglu, falls to the ground.
의도한 건 아니야. 용서하시게. 내 애고라는 것의 사용이 아직 익숙치가 않아.
She was certainly not my intended target. Forgive me. I am still acclimatizing to the use of this ego.
정확하게 조준하는 것은
It's never easy to aim right.
대혹시 괜찮은 거야?
Are you all right? That's a pretty big wound.
괜찮습니다.
She didn't even need to do that.
그런 눈으로 보지 마세요.
Don't give me that look.
몸이 먼저
It was just the force of habit.
오라버니 잊으셨나요?
Or have you already forgotten?
저는
I am from the Lin family, the family of bodyguards.
임신.
나는 되돌릴 수
My
있었어.
wounds can be rewound, Dayu.
너와는 다르게
Unlike yours.
너도 알고
You
있었잖아.
knew this.
그렇게 따지면
I can use Hongwon's life insurance anyway, if that's what you're concerned about.
숨이 너무 오래 멎으면
It won't work on someone who's been dead for too long. And I don't. Honglu's eyes trembled briefly. My thoughts wandered to visions of Jiren's past, then to here present. Perhaps his did as well.
이렇게라도
Perhaps I thought I could make amends for even a small fraction of the years of resentment I harbored for you.
그리고 저도
Besides, I don't want to see you in pain.
고통스러워하는 건
조금 기이한 광경이고.
This is quite strange.
고작 다른 후보자의
Would anyone in the know care to explain to me why this wound on a different candidate's clan is causing such a stir?
충고하건대
Allow me to impart a word of advice. Do not be so hasty in forgiving forging fellowships. For you might come across a fellow whom you had trusted to be a comrade who would build a future together, only for them to flit away without a word.
함부로 말하지 마시게.
You will not speak of such impudence, Gubo.
우리의 과거는
Our shared past is not to be a subject of your ridicule. Of course. Our recent exchanges tell me that you have learned to speak without letting the dirt on the ground draw the majority of your attention. Fuck off. But Yisong, I very much prefer your old self. Now you're much too, let's see, yes, much too slick. I can tell from your complete lack of hesitation in coming to your new fellow's defense. So please, get out of my way. I do not wish to hit a wrong target again.
그럴 필요 없어, 구보.
There's no need, Gubo. Look at what hangs from my little brother's waist. There are barely any coins there. Now that's Baoyu, pride and joy of Dongguan, everyone. So you won't need to waste a bullet on that thing.
보는 내가 다 나쁘끄러워질
Simply embarrassing.
4대 가문 중에 제일
You dishonor the
높은
G
의상을
family with your
차지해야 하는
pathetic
가시
performance.
가문.
We G deserve to be the
여기서
very best of the
이런
four
힘을
houses.
느끼고 있는 것이 통탄스럽구나.
꼭 가시 후보자들을 다 마주친 것처럼 말하네. 형,
It's contempt. You talk as though you already met every candidate from the G family, brother.
그래, 그런 셈이지.
Yes, you could say that.
가시춘도
I made sure
머지않아
that Ji Chi-chun would be
탈락하게 될 거다.
eliminated soon enough.
내가 그 호위나
A
주인이나
foolish pair they were, both master and her bodyguard, not to mention the rest of her clan that may as well not exist. While others are giving the arms and legs of their followers to traps to scavenge as many coins as they can, she stubbornly chooses the straightforward, honest, and boring path, a privilege not availed to someone who's so low on coins. I was about to break her skull to end her suffering once and for all, but she managed to give me the slip. Not too interested in improving our horrible first impression, is he? Doesn't look like he's about to start a fight just yet. So let's administer some first aid for Miss Baoyu here.
아니,
No,
그럴 필요 없.
no need. Huh?
흑수군. 저들이 나타났다는
The Heisho are here. That means
이런 폭주한 사시 가문의 후보자를 훌륭히 제압한 설씨가의 유일하게 남은 후보자가 탈락했습니다.
what a shame. The last remaining candidate of the Zui family is eliminated, but not before bringing such a dramatic defeat to the out-of-control Shi family candidate. That means Bao Chai ran into Yiwa.
시간을 너무 지체한
Unfortunately, she wasted too much time in that fight and couldn't make it past the rising walls. If there are any clan members who have been separated from your candidate, please remain still where you are. You will soon be collected according to the procedures.
보짜 아가씨가 탈락하셨군.
So Miss Bao Chai has been eliminated. Bao Chai. It seems that this is as far as I go.
따라온 덕에
Brief though this journey may have been, I'm glad that we were able to resolve many misunderstandings. Baoyu,
무사히 다녀오시길
I will
바라겠습니다.
wish you safe passage.
이번에는
So please, do return this time.
벌써 이 심사의 끝이
The game is racing towards its end. Let's try something unique this time to really enhance the experience, shall we? More immersion, more drama, more danger. Something like, let's see, what if we crawl the top 3 candidates into the same room? The candidates' placements seem pretty concrete now, don't they? But can we shake that up somehow? The greatest turnabout of history? Games with predictable endings can get pretty boring for our dear spectators. Which means, let's review the current ranking, shall we? First is Ji Kui of the Ji family, second Ji Huan of the Ji family, and third Ji Baoyu of the Ji family.
저 조합으로 같은 공간에서
They're going to put us in the same room as them? Are we about to witness a turnabout? Is it even possible? Well, we'll find out soon enough.
이거 재밌게 돌아가는군.
Now isn't this
그
interesting?
정도 동전으로 승리는
If you made it to 3rd place with those paltry coins, then the 1st place must have really been hoarding all the coins for himself.
동생아,
Allow me to enter first, little brother. I'd loathe to display even the faintest semblance of enmity with you.
네 한계를 깨닫고
Although, I wouldn't mind if you would make a correct assessment of your limitations and drop out of the game now. Turnabout? What even is the point of this turnabout? Isn't it just another way to make the show more interesting for the viewers to enjoy?
상이면
If we come in 3rd place, considering that they're also likely shooting for the golden bow, we almost guarantee to lose our objective to them. Fuck. We have to come in 2nd.
하지만
Or at the very least, we have to place higher than Juan.
저희가 대체 무슨 수로 같이 오라는
So how the hell are we going to beat that Ji Kui guy? Especially with Ji Huan breathing down our necks.
하지만
But we have no other choice, do we?
인데요. 피할 길이 없다면
If there's nowhere out, then our only path is forward.
괜찮은 거 맞아?
Oi, you sure about this?
우리가 앞으로 저기서
Both of them waiting you in there. They. Heathcliff trailed off. Neither of them are even remotely fond of Hong Lu, so they're likely going to go all out on trying to kill him. Heathcliff knew that.
아마 저 안에는
Big Brother Kui must be waiting for me in there.
지호 형님은
Brother Kui followed his father's last name, but he was pretty much a part of the Kong family. He survived only because he happened to be away on the day of the Kong family's ruin.
집으로 돌아오니까
He found out only after he returned. Both his mother from the Kong family and his father from the Ji family were killed in that bloodbath, and
그 외에 친히
he didn't even have a single close relative left.
지호 형님이 보았던 건
What welcomed him upon his return were the empty ruins of this building, the silence of the Dongguan people, and the tale of the Kong family's disgraceful greed and how it destroyed them.
시종들은
Some servants warned me that Brother Kui might come to take my life, as anyone could have guessed that I probably had something to do with it that day.
지호 형님은
But he never came to find me. He simply left Dongguan, then Hongguan, Dongguan, then Hongguan.
그러니 다시 돌아오셨다는
So the fact that he has returned
물러설 수 없는 큰
must be
결심,
proof of his
의지를 가지신 걸 테죠.
indefatigable determination and will.
그게 무엇인지
Of course, I wouldn't
모르겠지만요.
know what that's like. Sick. Respite under the shades. That's so cool. What Hongguan needs. Slashing, blunt, gluttony. Here we go. Ji Quan was waiting for us, just as Hong Lu had predicted. We couldn't tell how long he'd been waiting for us in here, as he didn't appear to be even remotely tired or angry. He regarded us in that same collected silence we remember seeing from the day we first met. How nice of them to bring us all together. Isn't their intent quite obvious, gathering all of us here? They're telling us to rid ourselves of the trouble of finding each other and determine who comes first among us. Still your insolent tongue, Ji Huan. You possess not even an inkling of the path ahead. You have taken that name for a better purpose than to assume such a boorish display of vanity, have you not? The tension was palpable. No one was going to make the first move. There was Ji Huan, who has always been hostile towards Hong Lu and us. Then there was Ji Kui, whose innermost thoughts we couldn't hope to grasp, but most likely harbored much anger towards Hong Lu and carried the torch of vengeance for his family's destruction. Look, there's something written up there, Ishmael whispered. A question written in large red letters. State the virtue of the family hierarchy. Now we have the top 3 candidates all gathered in this room. Are we about to find out the winner of this game right here, right now, right in this room? So with the gravity of this particular situation clearly communicated, let's try something completely different this time. Different, but most appropriate for the ceremony of selecting the next hierarch of Hongguan. Behold, the wall and ponder the question. This is the time for our finalists to debate the very question at the core of the family hierarch evaluation.
문답을 나누라는 것이요?
Are they debating philosophy? Are we to engage in a dialogue?
피는 질릴 만큼
Hilarious. Had enough of the bloodshed then. Shall we end this game with a sophisticated little confabulation on the sanctimonious virtues instead? Might as well put a bow on it, why don't you?
상대가 납득한다면
If the opponent accepts your argument, perhaps you can indeed flex your rhetorical muscles and finish the second round with a parley of words. But wouldn't you like to know what happens if you can't? It changes absolutely nothing. Simply return to what you've been doing for this entire event. Take or be taken, grab as many coins as you can. But all this was but the host's suggestion, nothing more. If Ji Kui or Ji Huan decides to just attack us anyway, we'd have no choice but to fight them. But now? However, Ji Kui only wordlessly gazed up at the writings on the wall.
어떻게 하실 건가요?
What now, brothers? Hong Lu asked casually. I have to start thinking about every permutation of events that could happen this moment onward. What if he decides to ally with Ji Huan to take us out? Wait, no. Someone like Ji Kui might not even have an ally with any... might not even have to ally with anyone to defeat us. Which means that for us to come second, at least one of them must be eliminated. There's a possibility that forfeiting the game now could result in us placing in third. You're offering that, Faust? However, what must also be considered is that outside this room, there are other candidates who have collected a similar number of coins as we have. It is possible that there are additional coins to be collected, the sum of which may be greater than our current sum. A small variable, but a risk nonetheless. Yeah, but the biggest problem right now is that the only other clan that's aware of the golden bows currently ranks higher than we do. Yeah, no, we have to be in the top 3. We have to place second. Because if we don't, because theoretically, as things stand right now, if we all forfeit and end the game as it is right now, Ji Kui takes first place. That doesn't matter. Ji Huan taking second matters, because he'll take the golden bow. We can't allow that to happen. So we at least need to place second, or just higher than Ji Huan. So right now, this is a battle for second place for us. Not only are they aware of it, it's probably the whole reason they're participating in this game. At this point, they might as well have already attained it if they were to forfeit now. The ideal scenario would be for Ji Kui to utterly destroy the N Corp forces, take all their coins, and eliminate them from the game, but... Damn it. I can't strategize without knowing what he's thinking. He's impenetrable. Otis, of all people, appeared completely stumped. This certainly does not bode well for our plan. That big fella. He's not much of a talker, and seems to be the kind of guy who prefers to destroy his way to success than to talk things out. They have given us a platform to parley. Thus rightly parley we shall. He is open to a dialogue. Well, of course he would be. What Ji Kui said was surprising to all of us. Was a surprise to all of us. Now that's unexpected. Are you gonna play along with this meaningless game, Ji Kui? Ji? Still gonna be bad at that. The long years spent away from Hongwan must have been quite smooth sailing for you. There was loneliness and impetuosity? But it was indeed smooth sailing. I don't think I've ever seen that word before. I was deprived of those who would stand with me, for I was wanting in the fortune with matters of people. Whoa, the way he's speaking. I was deprived of those who would stand with me, for I was wanting in the fortune with matters of people. Thus, I sought out the new, embraced them, and learned much. Without his family name, he didn't have those who would have allied with him, so he sought out others who would have allied with him regardless of his family name. I don't know just who you could have possibly met and learned from out there, but your ambitions are certainly inflated. I met the Sao of the Wang family on my way here, and he, who had all known to be quite clever, was sitting alone without coins, waiting for his illumination to be confirmed. And do you know what he said to me then? That he'd already given all of his coins to the one who should have them. That he'd already achieved his victory in this game, and he'd already given these coins to the one who deserves them most before anyone who does not. Who could that? His coins to the one who deserves them most before anyone who does not could claim them. I was tickled by the insolence, so I thought to separate his head from his torso, but the Heisho, this evaluation site, leaped in to protect him. Ji Kui, why would you seek the Wang family's alliance now, of all times? Alliance. Quite the lofty phrasing for what that was. I had merely discerned what he deemed to be good, and promised I would make it so. Was he politicking? What is good, huh? What could you possibly have after having essentially severed yourself from Dong On Wan for years to offer him that the Wang family doesn't already have? Fine then, I'll play along with your game for now. If you have something to say, then say it. Ji Huan gave Ji Kui a sarcastic grin as he leaned against the wall. To ask one to state the virtue of the family hierarch is to ask one to state what it is that Hong Wan, soon to be under the lordship of the new hierarch, needs the most. I saw not but two kinds of people as I was raised in the vast yet confined room they called Hong Wan. Those who kill and those who die. To dissolve this vile distinction, to restore the righteous path, this land's trajectory of history, dyed crimson with the blood spilled in the names of our selfish avarice. We need these two virtues, humanity and propriety. Your words are utterly meaningless. Do you seriously think people who clamor around every restructuring day to secure just enough room for them to live have any care left to give about either of your pretentious virtues? This is a philosophical argument about the nature of people. It is a dog-eat-dog mentality, or dog-eat-dog perspective versus a more humanitarian perspective. They're essentially kind of arguing over what matters more in a ruler, to be feared or to be respected. There it is, might makes right. What Hongguan needs is simple and pragmatic, the power to dominate and the administrative efficiency to wield it, not to mention the ability to maintain the constant upward growth of technological innovation to keep up with the other wings. Might makes right in progress versus the prosperity of the people themselves. Unlike the other two who seem to be more engaged in this debate than I expected, Hong Lu kept his aloof silence, as though none of that was of any interest to him. The very different ideological battles, the very different ideological positions that they're taking, at least for the two so far, Huan and Qi, is very interesting, especially going to see like what Hong Lu brings up. This seemed to irk Ji Kui, who turned to look at Hong Lu. Speak, Zhai Baoyu. Dare speak your mind. What does Hong Wan need?
네 척도를 들이밀지
Don't treat him
않는
as though
게
he's on the
좋을
same
것을
scale of which we operate, Jikui.
당장
Jaikui.
자신에게 필요한 것이 무엇인지도 모르는
He doesn't even know what he needs, let alone what
필요한 것을
Hongwan
묻는다.
needs. This is a waste of time.
그럴싸한 미사여구를
He does not
들어도
even possess an
호구도
ounce of
없는
ambition, nor the heart to bloviate meaninglessly about his purpose.
네. 환영의 말이 맞아요.
Yes, Brother Juan is right.
이런
How can someone like me even dream of participating in such a grand discussion of great causes?
가환이나 홍원의 다른 이들이 내린
I will not formulate my judgment of you based on conclusions Ji Huan or anyone else in Hongguan has drawn.
스스로 생각하여 내린
They will be heard, indeed, but my way is forged only by the answers that spring from my own deliberations. The capitalization of way.
그러니 가보.
Thus,
너 또한 타인의
Ji Baoyu,
흘러가는 대로 답하지 마.
do not allow the judgment of others to guide your tongue. Ji Kui replies sternly. Hong Lu looks towards the ground, somewhat taken aback before looking up at Ji Kui. That's the most direct anyone has probably been to Hong Lu about asking him his opinion on literally anything.
차라리 형님의 생각을 자세히 말씀해 주시는 편이 좋지 않을까요?
Why are you scared? Would it not be much more productive for you to tell us more of your thoughts, big brother? Just listen to him. They're both getting mad at his passivity.
지금의 상황에서 대묻기만 한다는 것은 형복을 잊지 못한다는 뜻이다.
To reply to my lord's question with such a fatuous query signifies that he lacks the vision to perceive the grand picture.
그런 게 바로바로 나오겠냐?
Boy, this ain't the kind of question you can just pop out an answer for, isn't it? Don't put him on the spot. Give him some time to.
이곳에서 칼자루를
Do you still fail to realize which party among those present wields the sharpest blade?
난세에서 힘있는 자가
Shame that you do not understand the significance of the powerful choosing to engage in rhetoric over crushing enemies with sheer might in times of chaos. No, Zilu is fucking spitting too.
자로야. 그만.
Yeah, no, there's more to a ruler than just sheer might. You have to be able to deliberate in politic.
다시 묻겠다.
I ask you again, what virtue must the hierarch possess?
지금의
What does
홍원이
Hongguan
제일
need the
필요한 것은
most? For a split second, Hong Lu's lips part. But they soon shut again, as though he was shaking himself from an illusion.
형님이 제게 어떤 대답을 바라시는지 잘 모르겠어요.
Honestly, I have no idea what kind of answer you're looking for from me, brother.
이건 내가 너에게 건넨 최초의 선이.
This was my first act of goodwill toward you, and quite possibly the final opportunity I may be able to afford you.
그 귀함을 모른
Will you
채
discard it
인생에
regardless, blinded to its significance? I don't want to say he's forcing an olive branch in Hong Lu's hand. He's like, for lack of a better term, he's telling him to stop fucking around and just give him an answer. Like, you need to make a decision. You need to tell me your opinion, your perspective. You are a part of this conversation. You must participate.
형님은 저에게 기대하시는 바가 있으신 거겠죠?
You must be anticipating something from me.
기대라.
Anticipation is it.
잘못 품게 되면 허망하고.
An imprudent anticipation begets nothing but despair in the face of futility, leaving nothing but a hollow heart in its wake. An imprudent anticipation begets nothing but despair in the face of futility, leaving nothing but a hollow heart in its wake.
그럼에도
Even still, I have deigned to grant you my valuable time for that slim potentiality I once saw within you.
오래전부터 준비해왔다.
And by doing so, I risk delaying everything I've prepared for a long, long time. Yet you still evade my every query.
말할 차례가 왔음에도 해야 할 말은 하지 않고
To swallow one's words when it's their turn to speak is to hide them.
네가 자꾸만 생각을 멈추고
As you insist on stopping and veiling your thoughts, I am, perforce, compelled to act in a manner unbecoming of a noble man. It seems that I must dabble in your methods today.
지금께서 명하신
As you command, my lord.
힘을 숨길 틈조차 주지 않고
I shall afford you neither the wherewithal nor the time to mask your ruminations.
답을 떠올려
Bring forth a real answer. Do not let it languish behind your tongue. He's only fighting him because he is being indecisive about giving an answer.
아, 바쁜데. 특별히 들어드릴게요.
My true heart, Honglu's skill gains +1 final power, and Clash Win, one ally, including this unit with the least SP, heals 5 SP. When an ally dies, remaining allies at turn 1 gain 1 offense level up. Like, cause that honestly has been my biggest issue. That honestly has been my biggest issue with Honglu, like this entire Kanto. Like, him being so passive, like, it is genuinely aggravating. Like, give an answer. People are asking you your opinion. People want you to participate in this dialogue, and you're still not. Like, he's not setting him up for a trap or anything. He wants him to participate in this discussion that they're having. Yeah, his trauma about, like, not having, like, an actual... Yeah, it's that... learned helplessness. Where it's just, like, he can't do anything. Where he's repeatedly at the point of not being able to do anything. But... He's at this moment where somebody is asking him for his opinion. They're asking him, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are your beliefs? We want you to participate in this conversation. Like, we do not need to settle this in such a boorish manner. I'm giving you this opportunity to speak. I am delaying everything that I have planned. I'm delaying everything I have planned to give you this opportunity to actually voice your opinion and what you think is necessary. Why are you still holding your tongue? Even your brother, even the brother that hates you, is here also waiting for your answer. This person who you thought hated you for so long. Because even with Baoyu, like, yeah, telling her wasn't gonna solve everything, but that doesn't stop that from being something valuable, not only for him, but for her. And he just held his tongue. Like, we needed to forcibly see his memories in order for that to come out. And like, once Baoyu knew what happened, sure, it didn't fix everything, but she still cared for him. Like, he didn't need to solve every problem. Like, he just needed to use his voice. Like, that's the only thing that people have kind of been wanting from him for this like entire kanto. It's just, Hong Lu, speak up. We want to hear you. Even if his grandmother was that vile of a person, that doesn't mean that there were other people in his life that didn't want to listen to him or didn't care about him. Jiren got hurt because, like, she listened to him. Dayu got hurt because she wasn't able to hear from him. And his indecisiveness about, Baochai, granted that's supposed to be more of like a love triangle, like, no, she cares deeply about him. Like, there are people that care about Hong Lu and want to listen to him and want to hear him. But he can't bring himself to do it. Like, I used to... I don't want to say, like, mask off, but, like, no, I used to really hate Hong Lu. Until, Otis's bootlicking, like, really got on my nerves. Hong Lu was definitively, like, the sinner I hated the most. Oh. Sir, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to aura farm like that. What the fuck is that? What do you mean you're level 90? A sliver of anticipation. He's not giving it his all. Lose 35 base offense level and lose 35 base defense level. Deal 30%. Deal plus 30% damage with unopposed attacks. And then Zilu's here with her normal stuff. Efflorescent Ego ends encounter when Hong Lu dies. Hong Lu has to live. After attack, heal 5 SP for every death rate on target. On hit, when the target's death rate is triggered, heal 3 SP for every death rate triggered. Deteriorate. If the target has 4 plus negative effects, clash power plus 1. Death rate halt. Death rate impede. Ooh, this is... okay. Cut them down, Mao. Hong Lu needs to live, but he also needs to be very offensive here. Fuck, Ryoshu's not here. Inflict plus the rupture count. This one's the more dangerous one. Conquist's health is what progresses the fight. Okay. Everybody's sanity is fine, so I don't need to worry about that right now. Really glad I was able to build up some blood then. Bleed, not blood. That is 13. No, that's 11. Both of these are 11. This one targets Hong Lu. I also don't know what they have right now. I want to do this to stack my chances. Mostly because I really do not want to deal with, Okay, pull that out, pull that out. Pull you out. Pull you out. Get bleed on you. You're also just really high up from staggering. Gluttony. I want sinking and this will use the skill, gain 1 bind for next turn. Capture on target.
로신한테 꿈에 닿을 때까지 몇 번이고!
I'm gonna use Zilu to try and farm up bleed stacks. Sorry, I need you on lockdown.
오, 머리 좋다 상태. 방금 완전 좋았어. 모든 결과들은 하우스트가 알아요.
This also means that Juan is just watching. Like, he's not participating in this fight.
모든 걸 거둬들일 순 없었어.
Zilu is weak to slashing. Good to know. I need your sanity down. I cannot allow you to have too much.
놀라운 명령이네요. 적을 완벽히 파악하고 있으신 거군요.
You're so fast. Zilu would be easier to stagger, but staggering her is not gonna matter long term. I would need to do 1,000 damage. Right now, I need to react to this. For every... no, I can't do that. I'm not gonna lie, this one... This one kind of sucks, dog. I'm just gonna keep this 100. Because Gregor's gonna end up taking this hit. But who is he? Clashing with that would be better, because it would be less damage. But if he still takes the hit, he'll still get staggered. But if he does get staggered, it's honestly not that big of a deal.
깔끔하게.
아름다운 춤을 추는 건 나쁜 여야 해. 그럼 이 발목을 잘라버리면
He didn't get staggered from that? The power down.
생각보다 너무 거센데요.
그저 하염없이 모든 피는 그래 그렇게 황혼 피어나고 피어나라. 금방 다 구기 조각이 될 것 같은데 괜찮을까?
Mirso has a lot of rupture on him. Both of these are targeting Gregor. No, because I want the skill 3. You do have rupture on you. You start at 4 though. But with the resonance? With the resonance plus your sanity. I do want to gamble on this. Okay, there we go.
이미 정해진 이야기를 따라 잊지 맞게 상급시키라. 이 수많은 소원들 중 그대가 이루고 싶은 소원 무엇인가?
She had tails on both of them. She's so close to 3.
도 아니잖아요.
For every 2 speed difference. No, because I want to keep whatever gloom I have, but I need to divert some skills from Honglu. No, because it's just better here. Gregor's just gonna take damage here. Yeah, Gregor's gonna end up taking 1 hit. Okay, that was bad, but that could have been much worse.
내가 너를 일으키러 올 것이니 넌 반드시 부서진다. 배워라, 명.
He might be dead.
방금 파도가 너무 거칠었던 가슴에 치명상을 입은 롤류가 생긴 것 같아요.
How he's not is a mystery. No. You are getting too fast. You need to slow down. People are gonna need a quick sanity check. Honglu is very likely taking a hit out of this regardless. Not necessarily. These two are targeting Honglu, this one's targeting Dawn. For the 6. Because this has a max of 16. 16 versus a max of 13. In which case Honglu has no chance of beating that. Which means he's better off fighting that. Rodian's better taking that. There's nobody to catch that.
떨거지 잘라낸다.
아름다운 춤을 추는 건 나뿐이어야 해. 그럼 이 발목을 잘라버리면
That was scary.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아. 쓸데없는 관심.
You like absolutely need to slow down. Gotcha.
산소를 평을 오리. 라샹. 끝을 낼 시간.
헤어라 묘. 헤어라 묘.
이만하면 순환이죠.
Okay, she's not staggered.
바람도 딱 좋네.
That is the very, very important part. Why do you have a shield? Gain 500 shield at turn start at 60 HP. After this effect activates, this unit does not drop below 1 HP. So you will not die. You will not die. You are a persistent threat. Okay, got it. Doesn't matter how low I get you. Gregor is just going through it. She is paralyzed. Is anybody targeting Dawn right now? No. Nobody's targeting Dawn right now. Good. Mersault is likely going to die, regardless of what I do. But that does not mean that I can't get value out of him right now. These are all bad, like, regardless. No, because Faust will still go last. Even if the Because I either do this, or... Does anyone have a bad bleed? No. Because the choice is now... Because I could slow time. But I'd rather not until, like, I'm certain that he is below a certain threshold. Or he'll get to a certain threshold. So I might have to let... Mersault just die. He'll get a good use. But he will likely die after this.
피난을 시작하자.
Also,
그저 하염없이 모든
not only would K-Corp Honglu be, at least I think, thematically appropriate for this kanto, it is also incredibly helpful for this kanto, especially with so many fights that have specific win conditions based around him surviving or not. So him being a little bit extra tanky is definitely very helpful.
그거 그렇게 하는 거 맞아? 엉망인데.
Did he roll 32? Ji Kui does not give us even a moment to catch our breath. The unrelenting storm of strikes pummels Honglu and the rest of us to the ground, but he doesn't seem even remotely wounded by the effort. Wait, did he phase transition because the bleed stack? But I could tell that this wasn't his full force. He wasn't looking to kill us here outright. Ji Kui awaits Honglu's answer. But it seemed that his patience was running low. Ji Kui is very patient, but he will only wait 10 turns to enact his revenge. Seeing this means you want 80%. What do you mean 80%? If you're going to toy with them, why don't you at least hit him harder? I would love to watch you tear his useless head from his torso. Regardless of Ji Hwan's snide remarks, Ji Kui only looked down wordlessly at Honglu, who was still trying to catch his breath. You have no answers still. Honglu's eyes wander, like someone swimming through veils of time. What Hongwan needs. But the silence continues, letting the countless moments in time to pass by unseen. Don't pretend like you are ruminating upon some great secret of the world. None of this matters to you, Hongwan, Hierarch. Why should any of that matter when all you care about is a singular thing? Is but a singular thing. You want someone to end your life, to cut off your head. But oh, you don't even possess the courage to do the deed yourself, nor do you have the persistence to struggle on. Ji Baoyu. What is true greed if not that? Why didn't you save him? No, let me ask you a different question. Why did you save her? And only her, Ji Baoyu. Lindeyu. She was also supposed to be there at the event with the Kong family. But instead, she alone was found hiding in some shed far, far from that building, wasn't she? Ji Hwan, he always envied you. You knew that. You must have. His future in Daganwan was more precious than anything you could have ever done, anything you ever could have been, more than this dull, meaningless life you cling to. Brother, humans die. It's what they're born to do. It's naive to wish for an eternal blossom, because everything that blossoms is destined to wilt away. Honglu stopped himself. The sudden re-emergence of this memory has put his reply to sleep, still and silent. And a familiar, aloof, cloud-like words fill the vacuum.
그런 답이 설사 있다한데
Even if an answer to your question exists, what meaning would it have? You still don't understand.
모든 것은 찰나에 불과하기에 이 안에서의 괴로움과
In our lives that are but sparks that go out in the blink of an eye, what meaning would all the suffering, happiness, pain, and sorrow have? They all float away with the flow. They all float away with the flow anyway. You don't... I think the reason why he's annoying me so much, especially in this kanto, is that all he's preaching is nothing but nihilism. What's the point in doing anything if you're just gonna die? So all you're doing is living your life waiting to die.
아니, 홍원에게 필요한 것이 있다면 안 빈낙도일지도 모르겠네요.
So if Hongwan needs anything, I guess it might need to find something like contentment in poverty and the joy of having principles.
주어진 것에 더는 바라지 않고
To not desire more, nor to discard what is given to
그저
us,
받아들이는
and
것이
instead to simply and fully accept the
유한없이
present.
평안에 이르는 길일 테니까요.
That must be the remorseless path to true inner peace, right? Your answer is to give up.
빈곤한 삶일지라도 주어진 것에 만족한다면
Even in poverty-stricken lives, if one finds contentment with what is given to them, they will find inner peace. I see.
허나 가보 네가 진정으로 빈을 논하고 있다.
However, Ji Baoyu, I must doubt the truthfulness behind your words, for you do not know poverty.
네가 진정 빈을 안다면
If you knew true poverty, you would also know that it is not something to be uttered so lightly with that insolent smile of
너나 나나 이곳 대관원에
insuccinct smile of yours. None of us here in Daganwan, neither you nor I, deserve to discuss it in the manner in which you have.
그러니 나는 아직 네가
Thus, I am compelled to believe that you are still yet to give me a real answer.
맞는 말이야.
He's right. Yeah. Yeah, if anyone was gonna back Ji Kui's statement with it would be Rhodia. Because all Honglu's answer right there kind of boils down to is just accept your lot in life. Even if you're poor, find happiness in being poor, he says as the privileged rich kids.
주어진 걸 받아들인다는 건 가난한 사람에겐
You want us just to accept what's given to us. That it's just what it is. That's too wretched and pathetic for the poor. Shadows draw over Ji Kui's expression as though he observes every hour that has been slipping through Honglu's fingers. And he remains patient. It seemed as though he was waiting for a reply he thought Honglu must rightly give.
다시 묻지.
I will ask again.
홍원에 필요한 것은
What does Hongwan need?
그저 숨을 내쉬기만
What is it that its people need?
죽고 사는
Those who are too busy dying, too busy living, too busy simply persisting, breathing.
홍원에는
What Hongwan needs is... The silence has grown.
떠난다고요? 대관원을?
You're leaving Daganwan. After all those years, you kept your silence to the final moments of your departure.
이렇게 떠나시는군요.
Not even a hint of an answer about that day.
왜 계속
Why?
그렇게 웃고만
Why won't you
계시는
stop
건가요?
smiling like that? Oh, I see.
오라버니
You
아무튼 거군요.
buried it all?
부디
Then I hope you'll never come back here again.
오라버니는 저를 버리고
Because you have abandoned me.
대관원에
You have abandoned Dongwon and Hongwon both. Honglu's mouth opens and shuts, once again caging the words that ache to be let out. And his lips once again assume the familiar arch. The same lonely smile that has seen far too many things they care about flow away. Hongwon needs
수복강령이 필요하겠네요.
a long life expectancy, fortune, and health in both body and spirit. That's still a non-answer.
복을 누리며 편안하게 살 수 있는 삶.
Wouldn't it be nice to live a long, fortunate life, free from any inequities of the world from the beginning to the end of your existence?
들여다 삼켜놓고
You spew such hollow, worthless lies in place of the truth that you so nearly uttered.
원래 말하려던 걸 말.
Let it out, your truth.
내가 듣고 싶은 것은
That is what I wish to hear.
주어진 것에 만족하면서
To be content with is given to us, and to live a long life unburdened by sickness and worry on account of inequities.
네가 말하였던 것들은
They may both be answers indeed.
만약 그 말들이
If they were truly replies risen from the fathoms of your heart, then I would have accepted them, and thereby drawn my conclusions.
하지만
Yet,
아직 듣지 못해.
I am yet to hear your answer.
네가 머뭇거리는 주
That answer hiding in the shadows of your hesitation.
깊게 파묻힌 그
The answer that you buried deep within.
그가 표현하려 애를 쓰고 있으나 사단은
My lord, while there is effort, he is
물러나라 자.
withdrawn now, Zilu.
큰 겨울을 주지.
It seems that a brutal winter must come before I am to estimate the grain within him.
더해야 하리라.
Reflect upon yourself, exhume your humanity, your righteousness from deep within.
어우, 단테, 고생해.
That was Mersault who died. Begins the encounter with half the potency and count for the following effects. Okay, so he had a slight cleanse. I still await your answer. Core and part gain 900 shield. When Honglu has dialogues, lose 300 shield per stack on Honglu. When Honglu has 3 plus dialogues, this unit does not gain a shield for the rest of the encounter. Honglu has to speak. Every turn start gain 900 shield. Okay. All your stuff just reset. You're not clashing with anything, you just attack. He's gonna lose that regardless. He doesn't have... All these hit so hard. Wait, one of these has weight. 2 types of death right. Wait, but you have a +2 to your strength. Who's that going to? Oh, Faust. Faust might just have to be on the chopping block.
그저 하염없이 모든 피를 그래 그렇게 황홀히 피어나고 피어나고 피어나라 만렙 충전 최대치
배워라. 묘.
다음 카페 이어
갇혀 죽어.
아니 그
꺼내지 마라. 사라지지 마.
You've gotta be kidding me. Answer me, Chi Baoyu. Zilu's still here.
정출할게요.
That got so close.
라샹 끝을 낼 시간이 난찬에 집중해
She still got staggered. 400 damage.
아무튼 놀라운 한방이네.
이지대로 더
Demonstrate to me your will.
많이 따가울걸요? 일단 데이면 상처 이상으로 떨어질 테니까.
Somebody got staggered. He still got staggered.
방금 전에는 굉장했다고. 베르게 그 인간도 이걸 인정할걸?
When HP drops to 0 during the encounter, heal up to max HP. Activates as many times as unit has stacks. Okay, so it does have something that'll naturally keep him up. Oh my god, though. So this is just a survival then. I can't let Don get hit by that.
여기 이 약한 부분을 쓰겠지. 자, 여기.
잘 올려.
가면은 쉬운 차로
잠시 쉬어.
죽여.
당체
달릴 시간이
고생해.
I can't have him have too many more K-Corp capsules or else it's gonna get real bad. All we really can do is just endure the assault. See, there's just gonna keep coming back with more shield constantly.
총원 불격!
Come on.
와, 엄청난 공격이었어. 기념할 만한걸? 이 작살, 필살의 집념이 담겨있지.
Come on, Honglu. Demonstrate to me your will.
방금 전투는 좀 인상 깊었어요. 어떤 고래도 거뜬히 잡을 것 같은
It's
투지였는데
getting closer to a real answer. I don't like this. He has had 2 dialogues. Wait, no. Yeah, he's at 2. I thought he was at 4. Cracker would be better off. He needs to survive. Actually, Lantern would be useful here just to win. But then somebody needs to shut this down. She'd struggle if he gets 1, and his sanity is too high for that to work. I'm really trusting in a Resonance to kind of carry that. Because if not, this is gonna suck. Is he still on his horse? Yes. Might be better. No, I don't know. Really don't like this fight. Or at least I don't like this situation. Sinclair can take the damage. Dawn can't. But if this spreads, who does it hit? It'll also hit Dawn, which is really bad. But right now I really don't have an option. I'm almost... Man who misses his wife, always stronger than Confucius. Lantern again. He just needs 1 more dialogue. Who did you stagger?
동료들 상태에 신경 좀 쓰셔야 할 것 같은데요, 관리자님.
Honglu, you have to get through this. You have to.
목을 내놓고 있도록. 와 함께 사라져.
That's my captain.
전열을 지켜라. 내가 중심이 쏠렸으니 너희가 공격할 기회는 더 많아진다.
더 보여봐라.
He just got it.
방금 전에 굉장했다고. 배드린 그일까지 이건 인정할걸?
Like a roaring storm. The skill attacks targets that aren't Honglu, uses the Heisho Pact, Mao Branch to stagger every identity except for Honglu next turn. This unit recovers from stagger. After attack end turn.
죄인인가?
계속해봐라. 이 폭풍이 잦아들 때까지. 불안이야.
동료들 상태에 신경을 쓰셔야 할 것 같은데요. 관리자님.
Tingang Stormform. Prioritize Honglu. Coin power -2 for every dialogue on target. Clash lose. Cannot stagger with this attack. Gain 24 defense level down for this encounter. Clash lose. Deal 50% less damage. So if Honglu's at 3, that means this goes down to... Wait, loses 2. That means it's 6. That means he loses 1. Yeah, so 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So 3, 5, 7, 9. Plus his final +1. He's still at max. I'm just gonna be careful, because I'm always cautious of something bad happening. Sick.
많이 따가울걸요? 일단 데이면 상처에서 안 떨어질 테니까.
사스러운 우리가 네 뜻을 가르는 것이냐? 그렇다면 그 우리가
Is it your companion to hold your tongue, that perhaps
까딱하면 치겠는걸.
do not fear futility. There will be time for you once you have spoken your mind. Sir, I need you to die already. 신데크레르?
모든 걸 거둬들일 순 없었어.
배워라, 묘. 저 발긴다. 돌아하니요.
I ask again.
맞서보자. 우리들에게 입값 하도 별것도 아니잖아요.
All of these are struggles.
총원 불격!
Please, please, just die.
뜻이 되찾을 거다. 자로다. 계속해봐라. 이 폭풍이 잦아들 때까지.
선원들! 나를 동료들 상태에 신경 좀 쓰셔야 할 것 같은데요. 관리자님.
Oh, these are hopeless. Wait, who has the unopposed Rhodian?
죄인인가?
배워라, 묘.
모든 걸 거둬들일 순 없었어.
Stagger.
동료들 상태에 신경 좀 쓰셔야 할 것 같은데요. 관리자님.
Please, just go down already. Heathcliff needs to get off of the Dullahan.
모두가 너를 잊어. 반드시 되찾을 거다.
The man who misses his wife is too powerful.
잠시 쉬어. 제가 전까지
이스마엘이다. 나는 여기서
He won? I hate when she dies so much.
승리를 세게.
But that's just because my own personal bias towards her. Like, Captain Ishmael is easily my favorite ID in the game. I think I did one of those overly long, quiz things and she came out in first too. Like, which ones, like, who, like, specifically going through, like, all the IDs that were in the game at the time, and she came out at first. I think this one had Rhodium.
정출할게요. 이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
배워라. 명령.
아유탄초 경혈 육수. 느껴라.
It's getting closer to stagger.
이만한 게 순환이죠. 이 바람 낙점으로
이끌. 전투응대에 나선다. 산초를 경을 오리.
La sangre. Whoops, that was a slight disconnect issue. Thankfully, it only seemed to be OBS and not like my internet in general. Like right after that fight too. Huh. Ji-Hwan lets out a frustrated sigh.
보고 있자니 답답하군. 이건 의미 없는
This is unbearable. What an utterly vain exchange.
아까도 말했지만 홍원에 필요한 것은 신.
As I said earlier, what Hongwon needs is a realist at its helm who knows how to pursue the practical interests. How do none of you understand that there's nothing more, nothing less to it than that?
먹고 사는 것에만 급급한
Those who are so
그들에게
busy
필요한
living and dying need their
그들을
immediate and
눈앞에
tangible
보이는
interests to be
이익이라고.
fulfilled.
설사 그것이
It doesn't
환상이라고
matter if they're just illusions or fantasies. All they need is someone who is something to. All they need is for someone or something to enable them to visualize and witness their desires and dreams. This is all there is to it.
그것은
틀린 말은 아니고.
That is not correct. Oh, looks like my chat refreshed real quickly. Yeah, seemed like there was a slight connection issue. But thankfully it was just OBS. Not incorrect. Yet, Ji-Hwan, while your way is sound in reason, it is hollow.
그렇다면
Then, Brother Kui,
지우 형님의
would you
도란
say that you
인의
walk the way of humanity and righteousness?
네가 보았을 때는
What did you see?
나의 돈은
What shape did my way take in your eyes?
제게는 조금
I saw
뜨거운 것
fervor,
같아요.
burning,
많은 걸 녹여주는
like
불처럼
fire,
뜨겁거든요.
melting many things away with its warmth.
녹이는 불이라.
Fire that melts.
내게는 그렇게 보이나.
So that is what you see.
어질다는
If you indeed walk the way of humanity and righteousness, then what does it mean to be virtuous?
방금 네 입으로 말했다.
You have said it yourself.
오랫동안 쌓인
Years of fell deeds have shaped the valleys that devoured men. People have accepted the broken, iniquitous establishment as a reason, as part of an immutable nature.
그 사이에서
And in this malformed existence, the hearts of men were cooled and hardened. But benevolence, the true humanity and righteousness, is what softens the calcified heart.
대관원의 모든 이들은 내게
Daganwan demanded me silence.
그날에 대해 묻지도 말고
Do not ask about that day. Do not try to learn more of that day.
감히 품어선 안 되는
It was but the consequence of the forbidden avarice, pitiful yet deserved.
흘려보내야 했던 건
You weren't the one who was forced to let everything float away, Ji Baoyu. You weren't the only one who was forced to let everything float away.
하지만 나는 놓지
The
않았어.
difference is that I never did let go.
아무것도
But there was nothing.
아무것도 떠오르지 않았어요.
There's nothing but an infinite, bottomless darkness.
그저 누구든 간에
All I could think of was that I wanted someone to hold me and tell me that it was all going to be okay.
생각만 들었어요. 비록 어르신들은
The elders could be stern from time to time, but
대관원에서
they cared for me more so than anyone else in Daganwan did.
들어가거라 보가.
Enter now, little Baoyu.
선인들께서
The revered Shinren await.
모조리
I wanted to let it all out, all of it,
제가 보았던
everything that I witnessed, but never should have been made to.
알수 없는 것들이
The ecstatic screeching of the eldritch stings, the echoing hatred of the dying and the dead, the wailing universe,
웃음소리,
laughter, shouting, screaming, the nothing.
소리. 오늘 이후로는
After today, nothing good will ever happen to me again.
매일 아침마다
This is the moment that will rest me from my slumber every morning,
밤마다
and every night it's going to drag me from sleep.
그러니까
So please,
부디 나를 위로해
please
주세요.
comfort me.
괜찮으니까
Tell me that everything's going to be okay. Tell me I don't have to be scared anymore. Welcome, little Baoyu. I have not watched anything as exhilarating as that sight in centuries. The beginning was the most enjoyable part, the one that pathetically clung to her life, scrambling away from the chaos in spite of his twisted ankle. Oh, it truly is fascinating how a mere crawling human could be so engaging to watch. The entity from the outskirts, conceived and born from the Kong mother's womb, certainly reached adulthood swiftly. Truly, it was a most magnificent sight. I'll not soon forget the glint of hunger in its eyes when the reproductive instincts kicked in. Did you see the contortion of the mother's face when she saw the creature burst from her womb? Madness took her swiftly. Indeed, and what a dramatic finale it was. To watch the claw arrive just in time. They have exceeded our expectations indeed, leaving quite literally nothing behind. It was just as we had heard. A most heavenly offering it was. We will reminisce it to sustain our amusement for months to come with this rare gift of yours. Baoyu, oh dear little Baoyu, you are our family's peerless jade. Its shine is like a mirror and a window that reflects to us what lies beyond the iron threshold of the Taiken Temple. Do persevere to cleanse and shine your light. Ensure that its glint is unmarred by cloudiness. What are you doing, big brother? Come on, your kite's flying away. Go catch it. And do what? Let it float away to wherever the wind takes it. Over yonder on a small field, I made a burial of flower petals. I collected the petals and blossoms in my flower pouch and gave them a pretty burial. That way, even when they return to dust, they'll still be clean like they were never ever here, right? And now I've buried them. I found myself free from the suffocating, endless flood of colors. Only then could I smile. Ji Baoyu, you have abandoned your way in Dagonwan. But this way of mine learned beyond Dagonwan's hedges. It taught me patience, gave me peace. Desire bereft of humanity, and righteousness begets only self-immolation. Yet desire guided by adherence to the way maintains its embers. If fire does not rise to meet the darkness upon its descent, all roads shall converge on a path with nothing but nihility at its culmination. He's right. So what lies within, Ji Baoyu? What has slumbered, nestled within you all those years? I buried it all, brother. On the same day the peach blossoms whirled like in a gale. In the end, only I alone enter the crater. Thus, I am the only one who may lift myself out of its depths. What Hongwon needs. Little Baoyu, you cannot save everyone. I know I can't save everyone, but at least let this one person who's about to fall. At least this one person who's about to fall, please. Is kindness. To be kind is to care about one another, to embrace those who suffer. It is to cry alongside a grieving friend. It is to join in laughter when they are elated with joy. It needs the warmth of kindness and gentleness. Your words flow like a vast, winding river that wishes to bring all of existence into its gentle embrace. Yet kindness alone, while it may illuminate those who surround you, will never be enough to embrace all those who need it. Not to mention how unbecoming of the Lord of Hongwon it would be for him to weep and guffaw at such little, insignificant things. That's not true. Honglu continues, his voice carrying more confidence than it did a moment ago.
눈앞에 보이는 슬픔과
If people can see, feel, and share the same sorrow and joy they see in others,
그리하여
and if that moves them to hold one another, even if it's just one other person,
그렇게 서로가 서로를 안아줄 수 있다.
everyone can be moved to embrace
제가
someone,
만인을 끌어안지 못해도
to share the warmth of a fellow human,
만인이
even if I can't hope to hold them all by
끌어안을 수
myself.
있을 거예요.
오래 기다린 것 치고는 부족한 답이었다.
That was quite the lacking answer, given all the time I have granted you.
하나,
But
그것으로 되었다.
it suffices.
허무라면 모든 것은
In nihility, everything becomes consumed by the monotonous, gray meaninglessness. But an empty canvas can be painted anew.
가치요. 네가 그토록 기다리던 대답이
Ji-Kui,
고작 이런
you've been
몽상이야.
waiting and prodding this whole time for these wish-washy platitudes.
이해할 수가
I
없고
just don't understand.
저놈이 짓거리는 것은
That idiot's drivel could not be further from what it means to rule.
상냥한 따위로는
Kindness can't give
만족감을
people the satisfaction they
그런
desire.
것으로는 누구도
No
살리지
kindness
못하고
has ever
주인들을
saved any
채워주지도
lives,
못해.
nor did it ever fill a starving stomach.
그딴 걸로는
You can't change Hongguan with such foolish flights of fancy.
가환.
Ji-Huan,
네가 옳다고
you need
생각하는
only walk the
것뿐이야.
path of your own choosing.
하지만
But in this room, I shall pursue my own idea of true humanity with clarity, without a moment's hesitation.
무슨 수작질이지?
What are you doing?
나는 이제
It means that I
권하겠다.
will forfeit the family hierarch evaluation. There was a shock gasp from the speakers.
이로써
Now, only Ji Baoyu and his clan must remain.
네가 나와 같은
Should you choose to forego the same choice that I am about to make,
이곳에서
then prepare to spill much blood. But it is not the throne of the family hierarchy you have come here to seek, is it?
잘 알고 있군.
You know me well. My goal lies far beyond this insignificant squabble surrounding who becomes the next hierarch of Hongguan.
하지만 그렇다고
But I
조종만
don't
하면
appreciate
네
being
말대로
told what to do by someone who presumes he has some sort of control over me.
너는 겉으로 비열하고 감정
Beneath your mask of unscrupulousness and temperamentality, you are someone who pursues nothing but the extremes of reason and logic. And I believe your reason would lead you to forfeit here as well.
알고 있어?
You know something.
이놈도 저 자식도
You're all disgusting hypocrites, the both of you. The stench of hypocrisy follows you both and haunts every meaningless, convoluted word born from your deceit. Gubo, we are leaving.
돌아간다. 기권하지.
I will forfeit the game as well.
이까지 동전 따위.
I've already collected more than enough of these stupid coins.
지우 형님?
Brother Kree,
너는 지금 구름이 되어
you are like a tuft of cloud, floating high up in the heavens.
구름이 밝으면
Yes, clouds do not bring suffering to trees, to earth, or to anything. It is not a force that tramples. How bizarre. Ji-Kui walks past us, making his way toward the exit of this room of his own accord.
그러나 그뿐이다.
But clouds cannot do more than that.
입에 담은 인이대로
To embrace a fellow human, as defined by the shape of humanity and righteousness you spoke of,
사람으로서
you must walk the earth with your own 2 feet as a human yourself, not float by as a lofty tuft of cloud.
이를 유념하며
Mind this as you open your own path. With that, Ji-Kui unfastened the rope from his waist and handed it over to Honglu. A huge bundle of coins, several times greater than the sum of every coin we've collected so far, jangled heavily.
잠깐.
Wait, but why? Ji-Kui left the room without saying another word.
가시가의 가치요, 강한.
Ji-Kui and Ji-Huan of the Ji family have been simultaneously eliminated from the game via forfeiture.
잠깐만. 이러면 우리가 1등이 되어버릴 거
Shit. What's wrong with that? I'd much rather come in first and second. No, you fucking idiot. That's not the problem. We're here to pick up the golden bowl from the treasury, not seat Honglu in the throne of the family hierarch. As the sinners were chaotically scrambling from this unthinkable turn of events. Wait, there's someone out there who's still trying her damnedest to become the family hierarch. And she still hasn't given up. Looks like we all have a pretty good picture of who's going to be our next hierarch, huh? There's only 10 minutes to go till the evaluation is complete. Hey guys, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Sometime later. Thus the family hierarch evaluation has come to an end. I extend my admiration and congratulations to every candidate and their clan for their exemplary participation in this event. So, this is actually happening, right? Someone tell me how this is actually happening. I implore upon all those present to accept this sacred outcome with grace. The victor will first ascend to the Taikon Temple and pay their respects to our revered elders. Then, upon returning to the surface, they will march to the first floor of Dagonwan and assume the seat of the family hierarch of Hongguan. I'll be honest, we're all still trying to understand how we actually got here. The following are the final results of this family hierarch evaluation. Third place, Juan of the Ji family. My lady, please compose yourself. There are many eyes. You have a certain dignity to uphold. Second place, Baoyu of the Ji family. Have you an inkling of why he has done such a thing, Honglu? No. I don't know. What the hell are you guys all talking about? Well, all's well that ends well, right? No, that's not. I don't. But why me? Why would I? In first place, our next vulnerable hierarch and the final victor of the family hierarch evaluation. I'm Shichun of the Ji family. The games ended with a hush devoid of even the perfunctory applause to mark its closing. Ji Shichun stood dumbfounded, still processing the situation. And I still had no idea what Honglu was looking at. That's how the family hierarch war came to a close. We did help her. In the end, we still helped her. Gregor took so much damage. Okay. I'm gonna maybe read like the next two of these just because the chapter came out, but I'm saving the rest of it for Friday, because geez, that dungeon was long. And I want to see what happens. Let flourish from my back the pinions of flight, to chase the parting blossoms, their wilting voyage, a sky-high plight. Ah, where at the edge of heaven does it lie, this flower mound? I bury you today, for you have passed on. But when will I be buried when I am gone? I bury the petals under people's mocking laughter.
이 다음에
But who shall be burying me then in the thereafter?
묻힌 나를 보고
No one will cry at my burial mound.
어느 날 아침
For as morning springs die and blossoms wilt,
모든 건
they all float away
이 흙으로
and turn to silt.
자, 손에 잔들 들고
Alrighty, boys and gals, grab your cups on my mark.
시춘이가 가주가 되는 것을 축하하며
Long may Shichin reign, the family hierarch.
귀하여!
Long may she reign. Once all the guests had taken their seats, the banquet hall became packed, crowded, and chaotic. Except for where we were sitting.
위하여.
Long may she reign.
뭐야, 왜 아무도 안 해?
Come on, guys, really? No one joined in on that cheer. We gotta celebrate the occasion. Stuff ourselves with gourmet food, play games, get wasted. How else are we gonna recharge for the next mission?
본인 횟수만
Yet I have.
아, 그러고 보니 이번엔
Right. I wonder if
소주한테
Sade's written something to congratulate us.
이봐, 이봐. 혹시 우리 앞에
Hey,
사진
hey.
같은 건
Did
없었어?
anyone send us a letter or something? We haven't even received any notes, let alone a letter. Wait, so then, yeah, what do we do after this? Like, we just still have to pick up the bow, but that's it. Like, that's... In theory, that's all that we have left. We just pick up the bow and then we're done.
매정하긴 우린 2위라고.
Rude. We're the team that came in second, you know. Rodia grumbled. I wasn't sure whether it was poor servant or the oddly silent Sade she was calling rude.
보호가 다친 곳 하나 없이 못
Baoyu, are you hurt? Any scratches? We took kind of a beating.
네, 괜찮아요.
No, I am unhurt.
내내 불안했단다.
I was so anxious throughout the evaluation.
무슨 이유로
Just what an errant fancy has taken hold of you to risk yourself in such a dangerous ordeal.
어떻게 여기까지
So how did you get to the banquet hall?
된 거니?
아, 그것은 말일세. 제목을 붙인다면 우리 림버스 컴퍼니가 2위라는 영예를 차지하게 된 일에 대하여 가족했군. 자, 긴 이야기는 아닐세. 그러니까
That was just to hear of our tale then. Forsooth, were I to bestow a title upon this adventure, I would call it, in which Limbus Company claimeth the most glorious honor of attaining the rank of the runner-up in a contest of might and wit. Now, worry thee not, for this tale shan't consume over much of thy time to recount a few highlights of this adventure.
시시각각 좁혀져오는 벽, 마구잡이로 덤벼드는 후보자들. 그러다 이 역경에 꺾일 소냐.
One might call attention to the merciless march of walls closing in. Verily, some might even recall the interminable onslaught of rival candidates. Yet these triflings have all failed to smite us down, for we are...
오해가 있군요.
It seems that she has misunderstood my question.
어떤 경로로
My intent was to ask by which means of travel you have come here.
아, 가마를 타고 왔답니다.
We took a palanquin, mother.
그래.
I see.
그렇다면
Then I suppose you are yet to have visited the revered Xianren.
먼저
Shouldn't you pay your visit to them first, don't you think?
네 소식을
They must be so anxiously waiting for you, to hear about you.
네,
Yes, I'll visit them soon.
찾아뵈려고요. 절 기다리긴 하셔도
Though I don't believe they're exactly waiting to hear about me.
무사히 복귀하셨군요.
So you've come back safely.
태우, 너도 무사했구나.
She's okay, that's all that matters. Yes, I've gotten much better.
생명보험까지
As luck would have it, the injury was not so severe as to require using the life insurance.
그건 그렇고
So,
그들은
what are the circumstances that led to you sitting here? If thou wishes to hear of the tale in which,
가마를 탔어.
we were carried by a palanquin.
예?
Come again? Don Quixote. I think she's asking us how we managed to come in second place.
그랬던 것인가?
Apparently?
네, 그렇습니다.
Yes, that was indeed my question.
괜찮으시다면
Please tell me what has transpired during the game,
잠시
if you wouldn't
이야기를
mind.
들려주실 수 있겠습니까?
Then, yeah, feel free to get the ball rolling.
자, 어디서부터 시작하냐면
That I shall do as thou asketh. Ere embarking upon this tale, one must first explore.
같이 우라는 자랑 가환.
How we were made to convene in the fated chamber along with Ji Kui and Ji Huan. That discourteous cur thereafter.
그렇게 말한 뒤에 같이 우라는 자가 글쎄
The dialogue complete, Ji Kui all of a sudden
그대로 자신의 수완을
departed the
넘겨
chamber,
주어서
taking his entire retinue alongside him. A most puzzling decision, would thou not say?
정신사 나오니까
Screaming every bloody sentence in my ear.
그래서
Thus,
어떻게 되었냐면
at the climactic finale, we were the only ones left in that room, alone with over 100 coins that Ji Kui had left behind, as he and Ji Huan both simultaneously elected to forfeit from the game.
이제 어떻게 해야 하죠?
Well, what now? At the strange turn of event, we all stood around aghast and dumbfounded. Even Ishmael was stuttering, just as confounded and lost as anyone else was about what happened.
그러니까 이 동전들을 가져가면
So claiming these coins is going to shoot us up to the top of the leaderboard, right?
아니.
But why? Why did he dump all these coins on us?
이걸 주고 간 거죠?
너 지금 5번째 같은
Lass, you
말만
know
하는 거
this is
알고
the
있냐?
5th time you've asked that exact question, right?
저도 짐작 가는 바가 없네요.
I don't have a clue either. Brother Ji Kui really is hard to read.
한대 홍록은
I see that your expression has grown a touch brighter, Honglu.
그런가요?
That means a lot coming from Yi Song. Has it?
예전보다 후련해진
Perhaps
마음은
something
있어.
has been unshackled from within.
제가 그런 말을 뵙게 될 줄은
I just didn't think I'd ever see anything like that.
상냥함이에요.
Kindness.
그것은 관심고
To be kind is to care about one another,
감사하죠.
to embrace those who suffer.
바로 옆에서 울고 있는
It is to
친구가
cry alongside a grieving friend.
같이 슬퍼하고
It is to join in laughter when they are elated with joy.
생각해요. 상냥하면서도
It needs the warmth of kindness and gentleness.
그 말은 넓게 흐르며 마음을
Your words flow like a vast, winding river that wishes to bring all of existence into its gentle embrace.
그건 아주
I
오래전
thought-
지나갔던 일이라고 여기고
I thought I'd let
있었거든요.
all of it flow past me a long, long time ago. Honglu's expression had changed, just as Yi Sung observed. There was a degree of surprise shown towards something new, but it was also the smile of someone whose burden had suddenly been lifted.
그런데 이거 참 이동을 못하면
Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that we'd find ourselves enough coins to come in second place, let alone first.
그러고 보니
Hey, that reminds me. At that moment, I'm pretty sure we were all thinking of the same person.
계시잖아요.
Wait, there's someone out there who's still trying her damnedest to become the family hierarch,
포기하지 않고
and she still hasn't given up.
아직까지.
이번엔 진짜 찌부러질 뻔했네.
Like crap, I almost got pancaked.
아가씨,
Are you alright,
괜찮으십니까?
my lady? The heck are you guys doing here?
너희
Hi, we've been looking for you.
뭐라는 거야?
What? Somebody translate, please.
너희들 왜 단체로 그런 기묘한
Why is
표정을
everyone
짓고
giving me
있는
that
건데?
funny look? Sometime later.
이걸 나한테 내어준다고?
You're just giving me all of these coins?
그래. 그러니까 이거
Totes, we're cool now, right? No hard feelings? Shi-Chun and Wei couldn't appear more serious if they tried, despite Rodian's chummy attempts at breaking the ice.
내가 뭐
What the hell is this? Is this your way of showing pity? What kind of...
내 생각이지만 말이야.
Here's what I think happened, Shi-Chun.
치유 형님께선
Brother Kui isn't trying to seat me as the next hierarch by giving me all these coins.
넘겨준 건 내가 적재적소에
I believe he gave them to me because he's anticipating that I put them to good use.
그러니
So
불쌍하게
no,
여겨서 주는
this
건
isn't
아니야.
pity.
나보다 적합한
I just
주인이지.
feel like they'd find more use in your hands than in mine.
고작 이런 걸로 빚이 전부
Don't you
청산될
dare
거
presume this'll suddenly make us even.
오빠가 내게
You owe me
갚아야 할
much,
수가
much more than this, brother.
앞으로 많아.
You owe me time.
아가씨가 말로 다 못한 만큼
My lady expresses her unutterably fathomless gratitude. Normally, Chichun would get irritated whenever Wei butted in, but she appeared to have grown calmer. Much calmer. Instead of lashing out with her usual exasperation, she only stared at the tall pile of coins with a quiet but conflicted look.
이상하네.
Funny.
이렇게 쌓아 올려진
Now that I'm
동전들을
looking at
보고
these piles of
있으니까
coins, it feels like
대관원의 방들을 보고
it
있는
feels
것
like I'm
같아.
looking at all the rooms of
어렸을
Daganwon.
땐
I used to hate that sight so much as a kid,
계속 보고 있으니까
but I eventually grew out of that feeling.
그
Stopped minding that scenery.
태어나게 되더라고. 아마 그때부터
I guess that's when I decided to leave Daganwon too.
대관원을 떠나야겠다고 마음 먹었던 것 같아. 가주라.
The family hierarch, huh?
내가
Can I-
홍콩의 가주 역할을
Can I really be a good hierarch to Hongguan?
그럴 거야.
Yes, you can. There you go
또
again.
그렇게 대책 없이
For
데려간다.
once, think before you speak.
일어나자. 시춘.
Time to get up, Shichun.
가주 심사가
The family hierarch evaluation will end soon.
히스클리프 씨,
What are you doing, Heathcliff?
카메라 보면서 연 날리고 있는데?
Giving that camera the finger? What are they gonna do? Disqualify me? What are you doing? I'm telling the camera to fuck off. Why not?
아, 들리는군. 눈을 감고 이렇게.
With eyes shut, with my minds focused sharply upon that image, the vision cometh to me. Oh, there cometh the roaring applause. There was no audience, no applause, no dramatic stage lights to celebrate our success, but we still managed to neatly and comfortably secure both first and second place nonetheless. Which means that we managed to successfully complete our objective here at the Family Hierarch War.
뭐 그렇게 됐었지.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Gregor, who took the reins of Dawn's epic retelling after she left mid-explanations to share her adventurous tale with the servants, finished the story.
그렇군요.
I see. So it was Ji Kui.
아직도 모르겠네요.
I'm still having some trouble understanding the choices he made. Why'd he give us it all? Why'd he give us it all anyway? Why'd he give it all away? Why'd he just give it all away? Perhaps the part of Ji Kui's past we witnessed,
저희가 보지 못했던
and the life he lived beyond the hedges of Daganwon, of which we do not know,
마음의 차이를
have created this schism of understanding between us. The same kind of separation responsible for my misunderstanding.
처음엔 그냥 적개심이
I initially thought he was just some dangerous guy with a lot of hatred in him, but
뭔가 다른 생각이 있는 것
there's definitely something else going on under the surface.
그저
It doesn't seem like he's here only to take revenge against Daganwon either.
하지만
But I doubt he never considered vengeance. I'm sure he's killed those who took his family away from him again and again in his head.
어쩌면
Maybe. Maybe he still hasn't let go of it completely.
참지 않기 위해
It must take a lot of effort to keep all of that simmering resentment under the surface. Sinclair muttered in a placid, yet almost impeccably trembling voice. Yeah, I've got no clue what's going on in that bloke's mind, but he didn't seem like the type to give up so easily.
지속해서 두고 봐야
I
할
agree.
것은 동감합니다.
We should continue to stay vigilant of his presence.
뭐 그것도 그렇지만
Well, anywho,
중요한 건
what really matters is that Chichin's gonna be the next hierarch.
우리가 2등을 차지해서
Not only that, we came in second in the contest. Mission accomplished, huh? It appeared to me that Rodion was already in a post-mission mode, as though the golden bow was already in our hands.
저기
So, I'm just saying, just in case you think we're already out of the woods, we should probably cool it with these early celebrations until we actually accomplish the mission.
에이, 설마
No
저쪽에서
way.
흥미로로
They
주문을
wouldn't
했어?
boldly lie in our face like that, would they?
말아보니까
I feel like I just jinxed it.
마지막까지
We were really down to the wire this time, to be fair.
시춘 씨도 그렇고
And I'm not talking about just us, Chichin too.
그래서 경기를
That's why they say ain't over till it's over, lad.
야, 저기
Oi,
너한테 시비 털었던
I think it's time to
놈들하고
prime
얘기를
opportunity
하고
for you to head over to those pompous sods from earlier. Now's your chance to really take the piss out of them.
그럴 필요가 있나요?
I don't think that's necessary. Not every candidate we ran into during the Hierarch War was here. And those who were present were either quietly glaring down at their tables or pulling their hair out and muttering to themselves.
아무튼 시춘 가주가 된
Anyway, Shichun, congrats, you big shot family hierarchy.
평생 꿈꾸던 가주가 된
How's it feel to achieve your lifelong dream? Oh, what's the first thing you want to do?
나만 잘했을 때부터 딱 알아봤다.
I immediately clocked you as a special one when I saw you back at La Mancheland.
꽤 나쁘지 않아.
You weren't half bad as partners, huh? Let Wei not be excluded from this round of acknowledgements, as he has contributed much in the service of Miss Shichun as well. Your unwavering determination was most inspiring. Yi-song, you're so nice.
맞아요.
Yeah, right?
역시
Never give up.
끝까지
Always
포기하지
see
않아요.
things through to the end.
지당한 말씀.
Fairly, fairly. Thy sentiment rings most true.
우리의 이야기를 터뜨리면서 이 여정을 온 도시에 모르는 이 없이 알리도록 하겠네.
Thus share the tale of young Shichun and Limbus company with the rest of the city, shall I? So that every soul may one day learn of our adventure most stupendous. I shall personally see to it that every single citizen hears of it. Doesn't have to be every soul, you know. Well, I can't help but feel a smidge of pride after all that we've been through together. So, well, congrats. Even Ishmael joined in part of the in part of sheepish congrats. But, guys, Shichun's not here. It seemed that in their excitement, they all failed to realize that Shichun herself was nowhere to be seen.
시춘이는 천암사의 어르신들에게 가주 승계를 받아야 해서요.
Shichun's left for the Taekun Temple to have her ascension to the hierarch confirmed by the elders. Hierarchdom confirmed by the elders. I see. Thanks. Also, would you mind telling us stuff like that sooner? Huh? Hold on. I know that bloke. Heathcliff rolled up his sleeves before striding full speed towards someone. Oh, you. Oi, you there. Got anything clever to say to our faces now, smartass?
없냐?
Yeah, smart guy.
다시 만나서 반가워. 그리고
Nice to meet you again, and kudos for getting what you came here for. Is that what you wanted to hear? For all your boasting about knowing who deserves how many coins and whatnot, look at us now. Guess who came first?
결국 누가 1등을 했지?
Well, my coins have circulated from hand to hand and landed in the hands of the one who truly deserved them. Which clearly wasn't you guys, given that your team's just a runner-up. Right. Nobody but us knows what actually happened. Sure, whatever. You little... Let me tell you something as my final token of appreciation. Storm clouds are gathering, and it'll be making landfall soon enough.
그게 무슨 소리예요?
What's that supposed to mean? Try to enjoy the party while you can. In no time, you'll find out what everyone's been hiding in their hands. Its concerning reply put a pause on our celebrations. We then slowly observed and took in our surroundings. People were talking, negotiating in serious, hushed voices. Some were constantly and anxiously running their hands through their hair. We also noticed some servants running to whisper certain messages to their masters, who in turn jumped to their feet before hurriedly leaving the banquet. Looks like we're the only group of people who are even remotely enjoying anything.
명색이 잔치라고는 하지만
Sure, it's a banquet, but
정작 가주가 될
Shichun, or our hierarch girl, isn't even here.
분위기는 묘해.
Everyone's acting all shifty and suspicious.
이게 무슨 축제야?
This party sucks. Rodeo whined loudly as she chewed on a shrimp with just as much gusto.
면모가 없습니다.
I must express my regrets for this state of affairs. Baoyu apologized as though she somehow felt responsible for this. Well, I do have some minor tricks of my own that could entertain you.
몇 가지 재주라도 부려볼 수는
What, you're gonna pull out magic tricks?
어렸을 때부터
I learned a lot of things as a child, blade dancing being one of them.
어? 진짜?
For real?
보여줘.
Let's see, let's see.
아니, 뭘 시키는 건데요?
Hey, what the hell? We're here as guests, remember? Don't be a jerk. Hey, Baoyu. Interesting place to cut. Momentary power vacuum. Zui Bao Chai, who approached us so it was Zui Bao Chai who approached us so carefully.
무사해서 정말 다행이야.
I'm really glad you're safe, and congrats on making it as the runner-up. Her demeanor had completely shifted, her chipper attitude nowhere to be seen. Now she was more anxious than anything as her eyes started around nervously.
그런데
But I hadn't known her for too long, but I knew that this wasn't like her.
사실 이 말을
I know I'm not supposed to tell you this. Mother really pressured me to keep these things a secret, but
말을 해줘야 할 것 같아.
I couldn't just keep quiet about this. Not with you.
어떤 건데?
Okay, Big Sis Bao Chai, what is it? It's, Her eyes glanced down. Her eyes glanced to her Her eyes glanced down to her relentlessly fidgeting feet, then to Baoyu, then back to her feet. It was a while before she could look at Honglu in his eyes again. Baoyu,
어머님이랑 가모님
are you,
말씀처럼
you know,
언젠가는
like Mother and Ji said,
돌아와서
really going to come back to Danganwan
나랑 혼인
and become engaged to me. Aww. Her eyes start away as hastily as she wraps up her sentence. Something tells me that this wasn't what she was really trying to tell to Honglu. There was something that was left unsaid, like she made a last-second swerve from what she was really about to say.
모두가 그리 바란다면
Yes, if that's what everyone wants. But there's no hesitation or fear of regret in Honglu's reply.
이렇게 있으니까 꼭
To be with you, it's
대관원으로
almost like you're back here for
돌아온
good.
것 같네. 아름답다.
It's so pretty, isn't it?
그러네.
Yes, it is.
네가
Remember
내게 좋은 향이 난다고 했을
Remember when you
때가
told me that I smelled fragrant, Baoyu?
내 방에 돌아가서
You know, I couldn't stop repeating that to myself once I returned to my room.
왜냐하면
Back then, I always made sure to shower myself with the most expensive perfumes and fragrances of Hongguan.
그날은 유독
Except that day, I didn't have the time to put on any of it.
그래서 얼른 내 방으로
So I was in a hurry to return to my
돌아갔거든.
chamber, to
도시
the
온갖 곳에서
place where hundreds of bottles of rare luxurious perfumes were waiting to shower me in with their fragrances.
그런데 기어이
And that's when I ran into you. Aw,
우리 어머니가
my mother.
먼저 번에
She sent assassins to kill you, didn't she?
왜 내게 아무 말도
Why didn't you
하지
say
않았어?
anything when you saw me?
누나,
Big
내게
Sis Bao
해를
Chai.
취했거나
Many
나를
people have tried to
공격에
hurt me,
빠뜨리려고 했던
tried to
자들에게
lure me into a trap.
왜 그러한 말을 했는지,
I could have asked them why
왜
they'd say or do
그러한
something
행동을
like that,
하는지
or why they
물어봤더라도
hurt me so.
그들은 결코
But even
이유를
if I did,
말해주지
they wouldn't have told me
않았을
why,
거고, 나를
and they
대하는
wouldn't have treated me any differently had I asked.
변함없었을 거야. 그래서 나는
So I didn't bother
물어보지
asking.
않아.
내가
So I'm
그들이랑 같이
just another one of them to you.
아니
No,
사실 이 말을
actually,
하려고 온 것은 아니었어.
this isn't what I'm here to talk about. Bao Chai smiled again. It was a forced, awkward smile.
보 이미
Baoyu,
2등을
you're the runner-up, right? The results are locked in.
바뀌지 않을 거야.
So,
서둘러서 대관원을 떠나는 편이 좋아. 아니 떠나야 해.
welcome back. Now might be a good time for you to leave Daganwan. No, you have to leave right now.
네가 대관원의 금고에서
I don't know what it is that you're looking to find in Daganwan's treasury, but you can just send someone for your clan to pick that up later, right?
아가씨,
Miss Bao Chai, what is the meaning of this? Something really bad's about to happen.
이곳에서 무슨 일이
Is something about to happen
벌어지는
here?
건가요?
나 가봐야 돼.
I've got to go now.
자리를 오랫동안 비우면
Mother will realize what I'm doing if I'm gone for too long.
대관원에서 영모가 일어나는 거구나.
There's a conspiracy to commit treason against Daganwan, isn't there? Bao Chai was trying her damnedest to find an excuse to retreat from the conversation until Honglu asked her this simple yet piercing question. She froze in place, her eyes widened, perhaps out of horror, perhaps out of panic. I don't know all the details. I just overheard Mother and the other relatives talking. Baoyu, if you stay here, you'll get caught in the crossfire. So many forces are. Her eyes restlessly darted left and right through the entire exchange, searching for any listening ears. Just what could have made her so afraid?
무서워하고 있구나.
I can tell you're terribly scared, big sister.
그런데도
But you've come to warn me anyway. I won't lie. Your departure from Dagonwan is so painful. But the sheer thought that I could lose you forever is like being stabbed through the heart. Sweet Bao Chai, I do appreciate that you thought to warn us ahead of time, but you didn't actually tell us anything about how, when, or what the danger is. Ishmael prodded with a grim voice. You need to tell us what exactly this treason entails. Is someone planning to challenge the results of the family hierarch evaluations? Is it a conspiracy to overturn or nullify the results? Well, excuse my intrusion into this discussion, but I believe that this is as much as Miss Bao Chai can realistically divulge regarding this matter. Leaking such family intelligence is already an act of treason against our own house. Outsiders may find this difficult to understand, but given the gravity of what she has already shared, you must understand that she has already told you more than she safely could. Ji Huan, I don't see him here. That GQ guy's not here either. Fellas, I'm getting a real bad feeling about this. Given that you have specifically mentioned so many forces, one could come to suspect that you're referring to the presence of forces foreign to Dagonwan as well. Faust asked in a low voice. That's... Yes. This is now beyond what Dagonwan alone can handle. You never really did much. Big brother Ji, Jiu. Bao Chai looked at us and then at GQ and his faction, then took a few stumbling steps backward. I really have to leave now, Baoyu. I shouldn't be here anymore. Then I must excuse myself as well alongside Miss Bao Chai. Please, you have to stay safe. Did she advise you to leave Dagonwan with haste? He did not look away from Honglu even as Bao Chai hurriedly walked away. Gaze unshaken, interested in observing no one, nothing else but Honglu and his actions. I thought I had a lot of questions to ask GQ if we were to ever meet again. But now that he's actually here, I couldn't recall a single word of it. Do you know something, brother? My lord. Xingong tried to butt in, clearly perturbed, but GQ raised his hand and stopped her. You must already be aware that this banquet is but a distraction from the fact that the currents have begun to shift. Her advice is sound. It is also true that now is the only time you can escape this place ere the storm arrives, should you wish to save your lives. But I doubt you've come here just to confirm that for us. Correct. Xingong lets out a deep sigh before explaining with a defeated expression. Once a family hierarch properly ascends to the throne, it becomes a hopeless endeavor to measure when the next great shift in power shall come. One must remember that the prospect of a long wait for the next evaluation, the end of which has not been seen and will not be in sight, oftentimes strains men's patience with lingering avarice and causes it to fester and into possessiveness. It is not the most predictable thing that these rotten, grasping hands are loath to lay down their arms and accept the results with grace. Would those hands not deem it much more favorable to seize and change the results by force? So this is a last-ditch attempt, a very desperate power grab.
어렵게 말하기는. 그러니까
Yeah, we all know you read the
가정사정 결과가 불만족스러워서 이걸 뒤집고 싶어하는 사람들이 밖에 한가득이라는 거잖아.
Yeah, we all know you read the thesaurus. So basically, there's a truckload of dumbasses out there who are bent out of shape with how the family hierarchy were turned out, right? And they're trying to change the outcome by force.
근데 이미 가주는 우리 시춘으로 결정났다.
But our one and only Shichin's already been chosen as the family hierarch, like, it's final.
가주라는 자리는 절대적으로
What happened to the family hierarch being the seat of absolute power here? What kind of treason could they even hope to commit if they aren't willing to flip this old and tired system upside down?
순위가 공표된 것이지.
The only things that have been determined are the rankings of the candidates. Strictly speaking, we are still waiting for her appointment to be completed. Meaning, there is no current new hierarch. This is the last moment before the new one becomes the hierarch. Meaning, if somebody wanted to make a move, they would have to make the move now.
말장난하는 건 재미없는데 언니.
I'm not too fond of your word games, lady.
짐승 냄새가 흩어졌다.
So that's why I couldn't smell those beasts anymore.
그렇군.
I see. I understand now.
어찌?
이만큼 많은 인원 있는 공간에
I don't even see a trace of them,
지금은 보이지
even in a
않는
place as crowded as this.
흑수.
The Heisho are gone.
마주칠 때마다 그림자.
Even the ones that have been following you like shadows.
다니던 자들까지. 이곳은 부리는
The measure of might in Hongguan lies in a number of Heisho pack branches one wields.
가주라 한다면
The family hierarch maintains control over at least 3 of those branches.
허나 가주가
Yet who holds their leash when the throne of the hierarch is vacant?
주임당하겠나.
그러니까 말했잖아. 가주는 시춘.
She hasn't ascended the throne yet. They're not under her control. Does that mean that there's just none here right now?
생각의 전환이 다소 느리구나.
The gears of your mind are ponderous, slow things to turn. Are ponderous, slow things to turn, aren't they? Have I not already given you the answer that our appointment is still underway?
어? 그럼 지금
But wait, then who's the family hierarch now?
퇴역과 즉위의 찰나.
In the brief window between the former hierarch's abdication and the new hierarch's ascension, Hongguan has no lord, is that correct? That's when I suddenly recalled what Ji Yuanchun said as she announced the results of the family hierarchy. The victor will first descend to the Taekon Temple and pay their respects to our revered elders. Then, upon returning to the surface, they will march to the first floor of Dagonwan and assume the seat of the family hierarch of Hongguan. There are 2 very distinct times where somebody could attack the hierarch before they actually become the hierarch.
그렇다면 부리는 자 없는 흑수는
Then what are these masterless Heisho? What are they doing now?
아무것도.
Nothing.
그것이 지금 벌어지고
And that is precisely what the present predicament revolves around.
사방 천지를 둘러보시게.
Look around you. Do you see how the shadows have descended on every corner of this place? They're the beasts that have melted into the dark from their hushed respites.
한시적인 중립 상태.
So Heisho branches are currently neutral.
뭐야 그럼
Wait, then
지금이
does that mean Dagonwan becomes completely vulnerable every time this happens?
당초
No.
다른 인물이 가주가
This would not have come to pass had a different individual been made to ascend.
가시춘 그 아이는
Shai Shichun, that girl has no substantial foundation, a base to call her own. What clans she did have prior to the evaluation scattered to nothingness like grains of sand in a gust. She had no foundation.
흑수만 없다면
It is entirely reasonable to assume that as long as the Hierarch 2B is yet to gain control of her Heisho Pack branches, they have a good chance of overthrowing her. She's vulnerable. My lord.
사적인 참수도 도착한 것을
The Whisper office has arrived as well. I see. Things were way more dire than I had thought. But what's GQ doing here and chatting us up now? But what's GQ doing here chatting us up now of all times? Pay attention.
지금 이곳에 들어오는 자들
There are those who seek to enter here and those who seek to stop them.
알사의 제2무리
our corp's second pack.
X사의 원정 채굴 기사다.
X-Corp's Expedition Order of Excavators.
범죄 언더보스와 솔다토 그리고 산하의 조직들.
The Thumb's underboss, the accompany capo, the soldatos, and the various subordinates.
더하여 가시 가문을 지켜오던 가람대.
The Gilon Guards, the Indigo Guardians of the G family,
K사의 특수 적출지.
K-Corp Special Excision Unit,
N사의 신구인회.
N-Corp's New League of Nine,
이외의 다른 해결사들과 세가들.
and numerous fixers and clans. It's a full-on war,
보고받은 것만으로도 이렇다.
and those are just the ones I've been informed of. This is very bad.
아직 대부분은 대관을
Most of them are waiting, biding their time outside the walls of Dagonwan, or are soon to arrive.
이미 엄지의 세력은 대관을
But the Thumb's forces are already engaged in melee with my army.
왕씨 가문 일부 세력은
Most factions of the Wang family have joined the defenders, but it is uncertain how much longer they can hold out.
각 가문의 실권을 준
And should the de facto leaders of each of the major families say the word, it is likely that R Corp, K Corp, X Corp may soon choose their own sides in this war.
뭐?
They're all fighting for power of this district. Especially for how important... Yeah, no. Yeah. We were getting too lost in the weeds about this being a family hierarch war. We were completely neglecting the fact that the hierarch is also in control of the wing. That's too much power for anybody to just throw up.
지금 발언 신뢰할 수 있는 정보인가? 그들이 왜
Is that reliable intel? Why would they?
이곳에는 가주가 곧
Many
홍원의
here believe that the
주인이라
title of the
여겨져
family hierarch is simply named for the Lord of Hongwan.
그리고 이 생각은
It is believed that many forces beyond Hongwan walls share.
밖의 세력들
그러니까
In other
그
words,
대관원의 사람들뿐만 아니라
this isn't just about Dagonwan. There are forces from the other nests and districts seeking to sponsor a different prospective hierarch to expand their sphere of influence here.
그렇지.
Correct. The cigarette slipped from Gregor's fingers. Oda's face darkened with the grimaces I'd never seen in her before. Yeah, no, this is close to another, like, smoke war.
여덟, 아홉. 풀린 것만 세어보아도 아홉을 넘고
8,
있네.
9. I have thus counted over 9 different powerful factions among the ones thou hast mentioned. This is too much.
다행히 지금 날뛰는 건
As fortune would have it,
내
only the Thumb has deemed it appropriate to act.
특히 뇌회.
But Lei Heng,
그
the
엄지의
capo of the Thumb, poses the greatest threat.
동부시
He is one of the
범죄는
10 blades of the east, and his might is formidable to any foe.
그자는 예정대로 내가 맞는
I shall meet him in battle as planned.
입구에서 필두로 소란을
You must be the one leading the
그자는
charge against the
말이
gates.
사실이라면
If what you say here is
단순한
true,
반역으로 끝날 규모가
then
아니다.
there is no more there is no more treason within a wing. Then this is no mere treason within a wing. Otis hissed in a low, menacing voice.
반역을 주도하는 가문은 어디-
Which family spearheads this treachery?
어떤 날개 같은
How many
것이지?
wings are backing them?
지금 시점에서는 확언할 수
Nothing
없다.
is certain at present.
소속과 가문의
The
얽힘,
tangle of alliances and bloodlines is a knot that cannot be undone until the dust has settled.
지금의 홍원은
It will only
휴식과
take a
나들이
single
직전
whistling arrow for chaos to engulf
각
Hongwan.
세력이
The
팽팽하게
forces
밀고
that
있는
have gathered here
누군가
have drawn their
모를 수
bows, and the moment one of them lets loose, it will
걷잡을 수
only
없는
be a matter of
전쟁이
time
되는
before it becomes a full-scale war.
뻔하지. 전쟁터로 변해.
And when it does, the cracks that has formed in the walls of Hongwan will widen.
그 제조법을
Vultures
누리는
of the city will
승냥들과
smell the rot and tear into the wound to pilfer the boluses and the recipes.
모든 얼굴들,
The smiling faces, the corpse, the yakshas.
무엇보다
I must also emphasize that the ring will never let such an opportunity slip.
홍원 모든 주민의 삶이
This conflict will utterly lay waste to the lives of the common folk in Hongwan.
후보자들의
The
싸움을
fire has already conflagrated. I'm so bad, but it also just made me tired. Beyond a competition amongst
틈이
candidates,
벌어지기 전에 메워야 한다.
that is why this fissure must be mended ere it
가주와
spreads.
공석인 채
Should the
결단이
throne
나지
for the
못하면
should the throne of the hierarch remain vacant, should this instability be prolonged, then the wings will march to war. No way, I don't believe this.
적어도
The consequences will be about as far-reaching as at the very least.
이게 홍원의 가주가
Such is the weight of Hongwan's family hierarch.
누가 위에 앉는지
It holds as much power to save countless lives as it does to take them. The banquet hall has quickly started to become barren as people began to hurry away. I don't have any direct memories of a wing war, but even I could feel the prickly goosebumps rising from my skin. The air in the hall was quickly turning razor sharp.
그럼 저희에게
Then, brother, what is it you expect us to do?
나는 너희가
I am of the belief that all of you are, collectively, the key to overcoming this tribulation. That's a lot of belief.
묘수
The key?
가주의 임명을 서둘러라.
Hurry her ascension to the throne.
가시춘은
Shai Shichun should still be at the Tekken Temple where the Shinran resides, preparing for the ritual of ascension.
선인이라 불리는 자들은
Given that the Shinran must be utterly oblivious to the circumstances outside the chamber, there is no way of knowing the time it would take for them to officially name her the next hierarch.
할 필요도 없겠죠.
And they will not be swift, as entry to the chamber is permitted only to the family hierarch. There is no one to relay this message to them.
하지만
But there is another.
제외한 그곳에 드나들 수 있는
There's another who is permitted to enter the temple. The precious jade,
가보
Zhai Baoyu.
가주가 비로소 제자리를
When the
되찾아
hierarch takes the
그것을
throne
이길
and
수
seizes the leash of her rightful Heisho packs,
대관원을 침범하려는
she should have more than enough might to ward Dagon Wan against the invaders.
가주의 자리가 공석이 아니라는 것을
And when the invading forces realize that the family hierarch has returned, they will retreat. The sparks of war should shrink enough to be snuffed out with a stomp. My lord,
용서하세요.
I must beg your forgiveness, for there's still doubt in my heart.
어찌 처자가
How can he be the key?
말입니까? 본래 주군께서는
My lord, I know you're not to be you're not to be one engaged in such gambles.
기회를 낭비하느니 그것이 차라리 나을
It is better to gamble than to allow this opportunity to slip away in vain.
거듭 실례되지만
Yet I must beg your forgiveness once again, for I insist that your mere presence here is a waste of time.
이런 하류가 아니네.
You must tarry downstream. We must rise to the fountainhead and cut off the stream from its origin. Xingyang looked at us and GQ anxiously.
낭비라 여길 필요는
You needn't consider this a waste,
내게는 충분히
for it is a worthy task in my eyes.
만약 가주대전에서
Had you followed the blueprint of the painting I had initially drawn for the family hierarch war,
어쩌면 저희는
we would have already arrived at the Tekken Temple via alternative methods.
다른
Alternative methods? Are you talking about
자공이야. 그리했다면 해결된 것 하나 없이 더 많은 것을 잃었을 것이다.
Xingyang? That would not have resolved anything. It would have only caused further loss, no more.
그리고 명백히 밝혀두고
And I
싶다.
wish to make one thing clear,
이것은 제안이며
that this is but an offer, a plea, not a command.
마음이 움직이지 않는
For one mustn't
행하지
do
않는
what does
것이
not move their heart.
하지만 가보
However, Ji Baoyu,
너는 모르겠지만
you may not have realized this, but
가주 대전에서
I have already
너를
gambled
두고서
once with you
도박을 행한 바가 있다.
as my hand during the family hierarch war.
너의 인을 이끌어내고자
I sought to draw your true humanity for, to have you wear it on the outside.
그리고
And the reply you gave me then,
꿈을 걷고
the one that emerged from behind the obscuring veil of clouds,
나를
was
낭비하지
proof enough that it was certainly no waste of my time.
형님은 어째서 홍원의
Why do you
지지에
seek to involve yourself in the politics of Hongguan, brother?
형님께서는
Neither Hongguan nor Daganwan bind you any longer, not by cause or force.
내가 직접 공멸일 날에
It was a long undertaking for me to uncover the truth of the ruin that came to the Kong family.
처음에
At first, my heart was engulfed in fiery wrath.
대관은
Daganwan had to be uprooted from the ground. For that, every single person of power or influence in Daganwan had to be killed, their throats slit in vengeance.
그렇게 다짐하던 때가
Or so I thought once.
하지만 나는
But I learned
배워야 마땅한 자를
from a worthy teacher.
얻었다. 그제서야
That is when I realized this wrath was burning my body to ash.
그 화는
Then,
지금은
did your
온전히
fiery
꺼지셨나요?
wrath extinguish?
내가
Had I
진실을
truly attained
보게
enlightenment,
되는 거 잊지
found
마.
all there was to understand of the nature of this world, Shai Baoyu,
가주가 될 모든 패를
then I would not have given you the power to elect a hierarch. He's showing humility.
나는 아직도
I am still but a student,
찾기 위해 배우는
the seeker of the answer.
단지
Yet, I do not wish to let chaos devour this land when I have the means to
이곳의
save it.
권한을 방치하고 내버려 이번에도 묻겠다.
Thus, once again, I ask you,
네가 가시춘에게
when you
동전을
decide to
넘기기로
relinquish the coins to Ji Shichun,
어떠한 마음이
what was it that moved your heart?
결심케 했나? 단순히
Certainly, your heart had changed enough then, not to simply hand them over for the simple reason that she desired them.
형님도 아시겠지만
You must know this already, brother, but
저를 제외한
the children of Dogon One have no such thing as birthdays, save for myself.
아이가 태어나면
When a child is born, they aren't celebrated. They are hidden,
몇 년간은
concealed for years in the dark, so that the competition wouldn't take notice of a new rival.
시춘 역시
Shitrin was one of those children who had never experienced a birthday before.
그것이
She
무엇인지
didn't even know what it
몰랐으니까요.
meant.
그래서 어렸을 때는
So when we were young,
할머니께서 제
when other
탄생을
grandmother would hold a
축하해 주는
banquet to
잔치를
celebrate the day of my birth,
그날을 저는 시춘이에게 내어주었어요.
I dedicated that day to Chichin.
이유 없이 존재만으로 축하받을 수 있는 날이 있다는 건 즐거운 일이니까요.
Because it's nice to have your existence celebrated once every year. For no other reason than the fact that you exist.
하지만 언젠가부터 제가 방 밖으로 걸음을 거의 하지 않게 되고 시춘이와도 멀어지고 저희끼리의 암묵적인 생일 잔치 또한 사라졌어요.
But when I stopped leaving my room, when Shichun and I grew distant, the secret birthday parties we shared also came to an end.
너무 어릴 적 일이라 시춘이는 아마 기억이 안 나겠지만
She probably doesn't remember any of it now. She was too young then.
적어도 그 밀렸던 세월 동안만큼의 선물이
But if I could give this to her, to make up for all those lost years,
시춘이가 그때처럼 기뻐해 주진 않을까
then I thought
그런 생각을 했네요.
maybe she would be happy again, just as she was then.
이렇게 쌓아 올려진 동전들을 보고 있으니까 꼭
Now that I'm looking at these piles of coins, it feels like
100원 원의 방들을 보고 있는 것 같아. 어렸을 땐 그게 그렇게 싫었어.
it feels like I'm looking at all the rooms at Dogon One. I used to hate that sight so much as a kid.
내가 홍원의 가주 역할을 잘 해낼 수 있을까?
Can I really be a good hierarch to Hongwan? Did Chichun like the gift as Honglu wanted her to? We had no way of knowing.
답이 되었나요? 형님?
Does that answer satisfy you, brother?
본래 답은 중요치 않았다.
It was not your answer that I had sought.
그렇게 마음이 움직이면 되는 것이다.
It was to see the way your heart stirs, and that was proof enough.
나는 철암사에 들 수 없었기에 선인이라는 자들이
I had never met these Shine Ren, the self-proclaimed enlightened ones, before, as I was not permitted to enter the Taekon temple, but I know of their existence. What I have come to learn in my observation of Hongguan, and then the city itself, gave me certain ideas of what the hierarch ascension ritual might take. Had you not surrendered yourself, you could have deducted what the ritual entails.
시춘에게 불운한 일이 벌어질 수도 있다는
Are you
말씀이에요?
saying that something bad may happen to Shichun?
이는 섣부른 예상일 수 있다.
This may be a hasty speculation. From a certain perspective, this may simply constitute a rightful ascension of the next hierarch. But I want you to be there, to behold with your own eyes what it entails. My wager in this gamble was that you indeed have the potential to achieve that purpose, and that the faint warmth in your heart I had once seen still gently burned.
제가 형님의 뜻을 이뤘으면 하시는 걸까요?
You want me to achieve your purpose, brother? No. Your own purpose would not to be the same as my own. Such a pursuit would be devoid of meaning. The decision is yours. So decide. Justice of others. That's what we'll start on. That's what we'll start Friday. Complaining so much about fucking how much I was hating Hong Lu this Kanto, and then he fucking does that. Yeah. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Links to everything down below. Discord, on Twitch. Yeah. I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, no matter when you're watching this. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whatever. Yeah. Johnny.